A beautiful Wednesday afternoon in Hickory on this presentation of the South Atlantic Conference on the Bears Sports Network, presented by MBA Roofing. Today, Lenoir-Rhyne goes for its sixth straight home win here to open 2022 as they welcome in SAC conference foe Limestone into Hickory for a non-conference midweek. Eric Bach, glad to be joined by Mr. Justin Hay for the first time this year. Justin, glad to have you.
Appreciate you letting me join you, Eric. Had a great time listening to you this weekend as I was out of town, and excited to talk some baseball.
Me too. Let's take a look at these two off to very different starts thus far this year in our team comparison. As you can see, the Bears 8-1, ERA just north of 3.5. The team batting average is the best in the SAC and top 10 in the country at .338. So all things considered, Justin, you can't really ask for a better start to 2022 if you're Chris Ramirez.
Now, talking with Coach Ramirez yesterday in the office, just the exact words of him. Can't ask for much better out of the team. You're finding your rhythm early, finding the pieces where they need to be. Some things have fallen into place. Got some good timely hitting. Not only are they swing the bat well, but they're doing a really good job with runners in scoring position. So looking to continue that here today.
And Limestone, on the flip side, has had a real big struggle to start this season. A lot of new players, a lot of young players that don't have a ton of college baseball experience playing for the Saints. As we take a look at today's starting pitching matchup today, Tanner Moyers gets his second midweek start of the season for the Bears. This is his third appearance. Only pitched in the last midweek 3 2/3 innings against Barton, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, but was a weekend starter last year when they played 4-game series in SAC conference play. And Noah Berezino on the left is a true freshman for Limestone. So Moyers has a lot of experience pitching in big SAC conference games and seems to be falling into the midweek role this year.
Yeah, as a starter and somebody that's thrown important innings for the Bears last year, finding that midweek guy early in the year is something that is important as a baseball coach, and looking to let that experience lead the way today for him.
Now let's take a look at our two guys offensively that have just been crazy. I mean, Wade Cuda, SAC Player of the Week, Regional Player of the Week, well-earned, had 11 hits, 5 home runs in the Goldie Beacom series, and that slugging percentage over 1,000. That's a pretty impressive number to start the season for Wade.
Yeah, I mean, he's seeing it well, obviously, right now, hoping that continues today. Any slugging percentage over 1 is amazing. So we'll hope to continue that today, and not some bad numbers on the other side there from Clark Burroughs either.
Yeah, 2-homer game against Anderson in their last series. As we quickly take a look at our keys of the game presented by our friends at Fry Regional Medical Center. They want at least 5 innings from Moyers. Didn't get through 5 in his last midweek start, and keep it simple with strike zone discipline at the plate. So after this leadoff man digs in, we'll take a look at the Limestone starting lineup with Gianni Lombardo, the left fielder for Limestone, digs in at our first pitch of the day. Misses just a little bit outside for ball 1 from Moyers.
Moyers looking to attack the strike zone here early. Must have a scout report. This guy swings early in the count, as he started off with a changeup or a slider there.
Goes with the fastball on 1-0. It's chopped foul for a strike. Lombardo this season, 6 games, 5 starts, 6 for 22 on the year. It's a Limestone team that ran into a juggernaut in Francis Marion to start. There's a chopper up the middle and through for a base hit. So, a good start for Limestone. They get the leadoff man on here in the top of the first.
Lombardo, 2 for 2 on stolen bases this year. Expect to see some movement early out of him. Here is Limestone's got the ever-important leadoff man on.
Here's the man we highlighted in our open, Clark Burroughs, DH for Limestone today. Off to a .367 start, 3 homers, 6 RBIs for the Saints. They lost an extra innings game to Anderson in that series finale at home. They've played now 7 out of their 8 games on the road to start this season, as Burroughs was way ahead of that changeup from Moyers there for strike 1.
Moyers pitching backwards. That's twice in a row here. He's started off in the off-speed category.
Seen a lot of that from the Bears this year, especially out of the bullpen. Not so much from the starters, but bullpen guys are coming in throwing their off-speed pitches for strikes for the most part in that Goldie Beacom series, which allowed the Bears to have a lot of success. Obviously a 4-game sweep over the number 14 team in the country. Bears came in 9th this week in the Southeast Regional rankings. Moyers checks again, so obviously the Bears have the same idea about Lombardo over there at first base as you did, Justin.
It was just a good guess, Eric.
Yeah, that's right. Baseball's a guessing game anyway. Burroughs transferred to Limestone from College of Charleston, so it was a D1 transfer, and there goes the runner, and Burroughs taps it off the end of the bat, foul for strike 2. Looked like a pretty good jump out of there over at first base for Lombardo, and Burroughs probably should have let that one go.
Yeah, that's tough to do as a hitter. Is to see the jump, but you're right there. If he lets that go, I don't know that Clarno has a
I don't
chance
think he has
at
a
second
chance.
base.
No, I wholeheartedly agree. Redshirt sophomore from Swan Point, Maryland. Clark Burroughs will play some first base, do a little catching, but DH today. It's the 0-2, bounces in front of the plate, a ball and 2 strikes.
It's like Coach Beasley's trying to get the off-speed stuff working early here from Moyer. Early in the season, you never know when you're working on something. Confidence level, working to get comfortable with something, or just has a really good scouting report. But you would think this few games in, the scouting report's not really out yet.
Runner goes again, pitches in the dirt. Clarno scoops and throws, and Laskowski lets it, moved his glove a little bit out of the way, kind of like a football receiver looking upfield before he catches the ball there. And a stolen base, third of the year for Lombardo.
Great job by Clarno behind the plate to pick that ball and get it down there. Tough job there to try and pick it on the other end as well.
Clarno, who's transitioned to the main catcher. Stober DHing today, has moved into the corner outfield where he's excelled. Seems like a pretty good fit as Burroughs is caught looking down at the knees. A good pitch from Moyers. Tough
pitch to hit there. Bottom of the zone fastball. Guessing a little bit probably. Seen a lot of the off-speed stuff, and Moyer able to locate that pitch in a very good location.
So now Dylan Shugan digs in. Redshirt sophomore for first baseman from Alpharetta, Georgia. Another transfer from Augusta. So an in-region transfer. Another breaking ball to start off a hitter, but this one misses for a ball.
Trying to establish that pitch early seems to be a key to the game here for Coach Beasley.
Shugan's last year for Limestone had a really good year, 359 in 25 games. 2-0 fastball down at his ankles. It's just basically, other than a couple of bullpen hiccups, a perfect weekend for the Bears. Played awesome defensively. Obviously scored double-digit runs in 3 out of 4 games. In the one game they didn't score double-digit runs, it was a shutout. And the 2-0. Breaking ball, misses again. Just a little bit low, I guess, 3-0.
Tough from our angle to see, but seemed like it was in the zone up and down. Could have been off the plate. Clarno didn't seem to think so.
And Clarno's not going to be one to hide his opinion about things. Moyers turns around and checks on Lombardo back there, who stole second. Led things off with a single. Swiped second base. Burroughs struck out. So runner in scoring position for the Limestone Saints, looking for win number 1 2022. Sometimes the hardest one to get is number 1. There's a strike at the knees, 3-1.
Got to see here, 3-1 count, first base open. Assume you'll see a breaking ball or a changeup here. But with the way Moyer's been pitching backwards, we might see a fastball.
Seen a lot of 3-1 off-speed pitches from the Bears, and there's another for strike 2.
And that's tough this early in the game to decide if you're going to sit breaking ball there, 3-1, or sit fastball, with Moyers kind of showing the whole repertoire early in the game. Obviously looking fastball there, and Moyer snuck a breaking ball in there past him.
Shugan not off to a great start this year, 5 for 31. And the full count pitch. Tap back to the screen. We'll do it again.
Yeah, early in the year, hard to get going sometimes. It's why they play a long season in baseball.
Seen Matt Mackey, first team preseason all-conference guy for the Bears, have some struggles early on. Talked to Coach Ram about him today, and he's confident based on his work ethic and all the things that he does right every day out of the spotlight that's going to be corrected. Moyer's second straight strikeout, bounces back after he fell behind 3-0, and now 2 outs.
Yeah, you can credit that to the pitch calling right there with Coach Beasley and Perrino and Moyer all being on the same page. Normally with a starter going 9, you're not mixing your pitches, showing them all this early in the game, but midweek might be getting into the bullpen early, so the ability to throw a fastball there and get back out of a 3-0 count.
So now James McCallum, right off the end of the bat, foul outside the first base bag. Perrino runs it down. He gets another start, and he's just made it impossible to keep him out of the lineup the way he's been hitting, especially in timely situations. Obviously, everyone remembers the pinch hit 3-run walk-off home run, but even over the weekend, it seemed like every time he came out in a 2-out situation, he got a big hit.
Make a lot of money with 2-out RBIs.
Which the Bears did in one of the games. They scored 10 runs, and 8 of them came with 2 outs. That one dive is just a bit inside to McCallum, a ball and a strike. James, 4 for 23 to start his season. Right fielder today. Another transfer from Mercer, so 3 out of the top 4 in this Limestone lineup transfers in the 1-1. Chopped the other way, foul, ball and 2 strikes.
We can't let it go unnoticed that Moyer's doing a great job staying down in the zone right now. All his pitches, fastball, breaking ball, changeup, have all been down in the zone and just giving the Limestone hitters fits here in this first. And even though they're having to guess a little bit on what pitch it is, Moyer's missed down every time.
Dugout gives him a hand, and he went around for strike 3, and Perrino completes it. So after the leadoff single, Moyer strikes out the side in order. Bears will try to strike first in this midweek with Limestone when you come back to Durham Field. Welcome back to Durham Field, just underway. Scoreless top of the first for Tanner Moyers, and these are the 9 that the Bears will send to the plate today. Cuda, Laskowski, Ionesta, Perrino, Atiles. The top 5 remain unchanged. Perrino, Stober, Bell, and Brett Urey gets the start in left field. That's been the one position that's been a bit of a revolving door. There's been 3 different starting left fielders this year for Coach Ram, but up and down the lineup, Justin, you can't name a guy in that lineup that didn't have a good series against Goldie Beacom this past weekend.
Well, and like you said, you got one revolving door. And this early in the season, the way Coach Ramirez likes to schedule his games, play a lot early, find your team, you would expect there to be maybe a few more of those, but he's been given the opportunity because people are performing at a high level. As you said earlier, some people just you can't take out of the lineup right now. So as we see only having one guy, one position that they're trying to figure out right now, that's a great problem to have as a head coach, as he's got a lot of guys sitting on the bench that he's probably would like to see what they could do.
Yeah, he and I talked, and, I mean, he said this is some of the easiest times he's ever had filling out the lineup card because you look up and down the stats. It's pretty clear who needs to be on the field for the Bears, and number one on that list is this man, Wade Cuda, who goes after the first pitch and waves and misses for strike one.
Wade's not somebody that is going to let a first pitch go by, is he?
No, he is not. 2 consecutive first pitch home runs over the weekend. Lays off that one in the dirt, a ball and a strike. Wade Sack, Player of the Week, which was an obvious choice. Regional Player of the Week. And they're not giving out National Players of the Week just yet. It's a little early in the season for that. But if they were, he would be the man. I'm certain of that. That fastball's down and away. 2-1.
Great guy to have at the top of the lineup, guy coming off a weekend like he had, or a week like he had, having to pitch around him here a little bit, not wanting to give him anything good to hit.
Way upstairs from Berezino, who's making his second start of the season, but hasn't pitched in 8 days. Started the Belmont Abbey game, a game that Limestone was in till the end. They lost 4-3 to Belmont Abbey, who's going to be in the top half of Conference Carolinas this year. Only lasted 2 innings in that start, but gave up 2 earned runs. 5 walks was what really ended his day early. And Cuda grounds this one to third base. Nelson to the backhand, stabs it, and makes a nice play for the first out. So Wade is retired, a sight that we didn't see much this past weekend. And now Cole Laskowski, who gets the dugout jumping with his walk-up song, is got to just be the best walk-up song ever.
Ooh, bold statement.
Well, I like it because it's just so, it just gets everyone going, you know?
Which is the purpose of a walk-up.
Sure. I guess the essence of a walk-up is to get the person coming up to the plate going, right? And anyone else is just a bonus. That one misses downstairs for a ball. Blair with a very dramatic frame job there behind the dish to try to get the call, but didn't. 333, 12 for 36 start to this season for Laskowski. Transfer from Lancaster, New York, from Niagara County Community College. Started the first series down at Emmanuel at shortstop with Attiles out with back tightness. And Lewis came back when the Bears came home. Laskowski bumped over to second base and hasn't missed a beat there defensively.
And what more can you ask for? Just to have a guy step in and take a position, give you a good few games, and then move over and continue.
And would be the shortstop if not for Attiles, who the coaching staff thinks is one of the best, if not the best, defensive shortstops in Division II baseball. So it wasn't a knock on Laskowski. The 2-2, full count.
This is where Noah got in a little trouble against Belmont Abbey early in the year with walks. So scouting report's got to be on him is try to battle foul off pitches and find a way on base.
Just can't walk anyone in this Bear lineup because they're going to make you pay from top to bottom if you put guys on base with free passes, as Laskowski just earned there. 6th walk of the season for Cole. Bears have their first base runner here with 1 gone in the bottom of the first. Just underway. A sunny but chilly Wednesday afternoon here in February. It's not quite the high 60s, low 70s we saw for most of this weekend, but we'll take some sunshine here in February.
Absolutely. Short sleeve shirt weather for a little while until the sun dips down behind the trees.
I got 2 layers on my chair ready to come on once the sun goes down. As Drew Yanesta digs in. What a great find in the portal he was, as Laskowski faked the steal and the pitch missed outside. 472, 17 for 36, 4 doubles, 2 homers, 6 RBIs, and an OPS well over 1,000 so far for Drew Yanesta. First team All-Conference Carolinas last year at Erskine and has been even better than advertised here at LR. Tip that one into the glove, a ball and strike.
You can just tell the confidence that he's walking to the plate with right there. Knew a fastball was coming, took a hack. Doesn't have his timing down quite yet, but you can tell he's swinging the bat with some confidence.
Through 9 games, the Bears have only scored in the first inning once, so it takes them at least a couple innings usually to really get rolling, see some pitches. 2-1 on Ginesta.
And you have to expect people to really start pitching this Bears lineup backwards, forwards, throwing everything in the kitchen sink at them early, as their numbers are pretty good after the first couple of games.
Yeah, got off to a little slow start down in Emmanuel, but some really bad weather down in Georgia hindered the offense. They felt like they had some balls that would have gone out of the park here in Hickory that were held down in Franklin Springs. Here's a little nugget on Ginesta. He's gotten hits in 8 out of 9 games this year. And in all 8 of those games, he's had multiple hits. He hasn't had a 1-hit game in his Bear career, including 2 3-hit games. So the hits have come in bunches this year for Drew. And 1 0-for-4 game where he hit 2 balls the warning track against Goldie Beacom as they check on Laskowski. Cole 1-for-1 stealing bases this year. That's one thing the Bears haven't really done. 4 steals through 9 games this year, 4 for 7.
Well, with 16 doubles and 10 home runs, they haven't really needed to steal a whole lot of bases.
That's a good point. Laskowski runs. The ball squirts past Blair, so he'll take second base without a throw, and the count is full on Drew Ginesta.
That's something Coach Ramirez is good at, taking what the game gives him, as all baseball coaches try to do. And, sometimes you're banging it off the wall, and you don't need to steal bases or play small ball. And sometimes early in the game you need that catalyst. You steal second like we just saw there.
That's the thing that Coach Ram wants to be different this year. The Bears were so reliant on the long ball last year. 63 home runs, which was by far the most in the SAC in only 41 games. He wants them to kind of dink and dunk people a little bit more this year. Feels like that's a little bit more sustainable. Full count pitch to Ginesta's fought off foul on the 8th Avenue behind us. We'll do it again at 3-2. But I think that is important. It seems really important to him that they're not so home run reliant this year.
Absolutely, because the long ball can be hindered, as you said earlier, by the weather, by wind blowing straight in. And being able to manufacture a run in a game that's close late is you don't live and die by the long ball in that situation is really important.
Full count pitch to Ginesta. Fights off another one. This is not, if you're in the Hickory area, I would not advise driving past Durham Field right now unless you're coming to the game, because there could be lots of chances for your windshield to be shattered if you're driving by the ball field when the Bears are playing.
But at least you get a free baseball.
Yeah. Other than, the $100-some windshield replacement. Ginesta walks. What a good at-bat that was. So 2 straight walks for Berezino after he got Cuda to lead things off. And now Nick Clarno with 2 men on comes up here in the bottom of the first.
Clarno hitting .348 on the season. Another guy walking to the plate above, right around that .350 mark. Expect him to find something in the zone and drive it.
Hit a ground rule double on Sunday in the rain that bounced off the scoreboard, was robbed of an RBI because that thing bounced over the fence. Check on Laskowski back at second. And hit a rocket of a home run to give the Bears the lead last week in the midweek against Barton. Gave LR a 6-5 lead in the 8th. Barton was able to tie it up in the 9th, and then you all remember what happened in the bottom of the 9th inning with Perrino. First pitch to Clarno as he squares to bunt. He will do that. He's the cleanup hitter for the Bears, but very willing and eager to bunt. He and Stober, the 2 big bunters on this team.
And bunting's about wanting to sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
But a lot of times in this position lineup, the third baseman creeps back, and you can add a lot of points to your batting average through the course of the year if you can drop down something in front of the third baseman and get a base hit.
Clarno takes at the top of the zone. Doesn't like the call, but he's down 0-2. Already 3 sacrifice bunts this year for Nick. But with 1 out, you got to think he's, obviously now with 2 strikes, he's swinging away, but probably did that on his own with Nelson, the third baseman, back. In the 0-2. Way high. McCallum in right field, well off the line. Have the Bears shaded slightly to pull. Laskowski and Yanesta aboard, both walked. So the walks for Berezino continue. Clarno grounds one up the middle to short. Adams to his left flips it for one, and Clarno easily beats it to keep the inning alive. But good pitch by Berezino to get a good hitter to roll over to shortstop, and now 2 outs for Luis Atiles.
Absolutely. Clarno's lucky a little bit that he was out in front of that pitch and capped it to the shortstop. Or if that ball's hit hard, it's probably a really tailor-made double play up the middle. So good job getting him out front, but it kept us out of inning-ending double play.
So now runners on the corners for Luis Atiles, who in the last game on Sunday, 3 for 4, 4 RBIs in these types of spots. 3 out of those 4 RBIs came with 2 outs, as that one's way upstairs up at his forehead for ball 1. You just tell he's so glad to be playing. Right before the season last year, broke his leg and missed the entire 2021 season. Transferred here from New England College before that. Takes a strike at the knees, 1-1.
Absolutely, and did a great job staying at the ballpark. Energy was one of the guys, first off the bench guys last year, and like you said, was anxious to get back and get started this year.
And then a little bit of a scare with the back. Missed the Emmanuel series, just was overly cautious. Touchdown and away, 2-1. Bit of a tight zone here in the first inning of this game, both ways.
It makes it tough early in the game for a pitcher who's just looking to get some comfort and get a feel on the mound.
Tilles checks the swing, doesn't go. It's another ball, 3-1.
Good opportunity here to put the runner at first in motion. 3-1, 2 outs. You expect to get a fastball here. Might can sneak a run on a single or a ball in the gap.
Berezino asking, where did that pitch miss? Kind of have the same question. There's the third walk of the inning. So the bases are loaded now for Anthony Perrino, who has been just phenomenal with 2 outs this year, as we'll get a visit to the mound from the Limestone coaching staff. So 5 walks in 2 innings against Belmont Abbey. And Aaron Lesiak, the pitching coach, makes his way out there. And already 3 walks in this first inning for Berezino. And obviously has pitched around huge trouble yet, but it could be coming very soon if these control problems keep up.
Yeah, and I'm sure what coach is telling him here is, hey, when you're in the zone, you're getting really weak contact. You're one pitch away from getting out of this. A lot of confidence in the words he's probably telling him right there. Just get something in the zone. You've got him off balance a little bit. Stay in the zone. Let's get another ground ball and get out of this, get in the dugout, and really out of here with nothing hurt with 3 walks.
Catcher Blair and the umpire having what looks to be a fairly friendly conversation, but I think Blair is really trying to advocate on behalf of his pitcher, as all catchers do. So now Perrino, 440 start to the season, takes downstairs for ball 1. 11 for 25, and leads the Bears in RBIs. You'd think that Cuda, with his huge week, would lead the Bears in RBIs, but Perrino actually has 1 more in that category. Got the fastball, took a big hack at it, and just missed it for a foul ball.
These are those timely hits we were talking about earlier in the game that we were able to get this weekend. 2 outs, bases loaded. Ball in the gap here could really do some damage.
Yeah, especially Atiles at first can really run. 1-1, popped foul again. So Berezino 1 strike away from working out of trouble here with a 0 on the board.
And letting him off the hook here could be a huge confidence builder for him. So the Bears really want to try to cash in on this opportunity.
Bases loaded, 2 strikes, and Perrino strikes out. So Berezino, after walking the bases loaded, gets a strikeout of Anthony Perrino to retire the side. So the Bears leave him loaded and don't score We're through one complete here at Durham Field. No score on the Bear Sports Network.
Hometown Ticketing makes it fast and easy to buy tickets on your school's website or in the new Hometown Fan app. It's simple. Just search for your school, buy your tickets, and they'll be right there in your account, ready to be scanned when you get to your event. Download the Hometown Fan app today.
Back here at Durham Field on the Bear Sports Network, presented by MBA Roofing. We didn't get to it when the Saints came up in the first inning, so we'll get to it here in the second, the Limestone lineup. First four went to the plate. Lombardo led things off with a single, and then Burroughs, Shugan, and McCallum all struck out. So a good job by Moyers to bounce back after the leadoff single, but Kronbach, Reel, Nelson, Blair, and Peter Adams round out the Limestone 9 as they search for their first win of the season here in Hickory. Eric Bach, Justin Hay, glad you're with us on this chilly February Wednesday afternoon. Tanner Moyers back to the hill, and Justin, a lot of the first inning spent pitching backwards to these Limestone hitters.
Absolutely. Anxious to see what Moyer and Coach Beasley come out with in this inning, if they'll stick with that plan first time through the lineup or if they'll start throwing fastballs. I think you've got an experienced guy on the mound who can pitch both ways and gives Coach Beasley a lot of options down there as he's calling pitches.
Moyers threw 22 pitches in the first inning. They'd like to keep him under 20 an inning to get him through 5. As Brant Kronbach, the center fielder for Limestone, fouls the first pitch off for strike 1.
Late on that one as Moyers lit off with a fastball, so that's the first time he's done that this game.
Kronbach, another transfer from Edison State Community College, Ohio native, and he golfs the second pitch of the at-bat to center field. Cuda glides over into the gap and makes the easy play for the first out.
Yeah, and that's what Moyer's looking for when you're talking about keeping him under 20 pitches. And get the hitters out of the box in the first 3 pitches. You're going to have a pretty successful day as a starter.
Andrew Patrick and Joshua Lanham both went 6 innings in their respective starts over the weekend. Austin Edwards, who really battled, didn't have like his very best control in the third game, but still made it through 5. And as Coach Ramirez likes to do, pitch 4 or 5 guys an inning each, as there's a strike to Peyton Reel, second baseman for Limestone. And he lines the second pitch to right field, right at David Bell. So talk about efficiency, 5 pitches, 2 outs.
Absolutely, and as we talk about the keys to the game and 5 innings from Moyers, anytime a starter can give you 5 or 6 innings and come out of the game with your team having a chance to win the game, that's a quality start. And I think Coach Ramirez will tell you he feels pretty confident if we get to the 5th, 6th with a chance with his club, a little bit older club, swing the bat well right now.
He told me today they've got 10 guys that are really hard to hit in one single inning out of the bullpen. That's what they feel like they have. As Joe Nelson, third baseman, watches a strike on the inner half go by.
And that's kind of that MLB bullpen type situation where you've got some situational guys who go 1 inning.
Right.
And luckily we don't have the MLB rule.
Yeah, we got to face 3 batters now.
Which we can talk about that later.
Yeah, you're. I'm sure we'll get to your world champion Braves. There's a line drive and a base hit up the middle for Nelson. So the second hit of the day for Limestone comes with 2 outs here in the top of the second.
And if Moyer's able to pitch around this right here, again, got out of the box on the second pitch. And we're only at 7 pitches here. Still could be a very efficient inning for him.
Nelson gets his 4th hit of the season. And now Hunter Blair, the catcher, who navigated his pitcher, Berezino, out of a bases-loaded jam in the top of the first and watches the first pitch miss downstairs for a ball.
Something not to be missed is the experience behind the plate, the freshman on the mound for the Saints, and the leadership that Blair was able to help him get out of that inning.
Redshirt junior, another transfer from Harford Community College, so has obviously been around college baseball a lot longer than Berezino has. And the 2-0 pitch. Fastball. Hard to tell where that one missed, 3-0.
Judging by where Clarno set up there, that ball was probably two to three balls off the edge of the plate, but a really good pitch. In a 2-0 situation where he's sitting dead red fastball.
And the 3-0, strike one. It's funny, after the 2-0 pitch, Brett Harker, the head coach for Limestone, who's down here right in front of us coaching third base, turned around to the dugout and went, "What the heck? Like, how is that not a strike?" I think he was a little frustrated with the strike zone last half inning with his pitcher on the mound, and now there's strike two as Blair puts the bat down. That's a little bit awkward when you got the catcher at the plate, puts the bat down, and then has to go back out there for the next half inning. That was always a little bit dicey situation there.
It's an important relationship back there between the
is.
catcher and the umpire.
Moyer's trying to get out of the inning with some efficiency. The runner goes. The pitch is just a touch low for ball 4. So Blair draws a 2-out walk. First one issued today for Moyers. Now, again, 2 base runners here in the second inning for Limestone as they try to put together a rally with Peter Adams, a 9-hitter and shortstop, coming to the plate. Looks at a strike. Peter, another freshman from North Augusta, South Carolina. Started 4 games this year at shortstop, 2 for 12 at the dish in the 0-1. It's just, obviously we don't have a good angle of the longitude of the strike zone over here as we sit on top of the Lenoir-Rhyne third base dugout. So maybe some of these pitches are missing a little bit off the plate. They just look really good from where we're sitting.
Judging by some of the reactions we've gotten, we're not the only ones that think they're close.
And I think both coaching staffs are a little bit weary of the strike zone, we'll call it. 2-1.
But it is really difficult to be back there, as you know.
I do. As both a catcher and an umpire. 2-1. Breaking ball right over the heart of the plate there, 2-2.
Good pitch in a hitter's count there to drop the breaking ball in. Now you've got basically the whole arsenal in the 2-2 count. The way Moyers has established his off-speed early.
Still only 13 pitches in this half inning for Tanner. Looking to end it here. And misses low with a curveball. So the runners will be in motion here with a full count and 2 outs. Tanner works the first base side of the rubber and brings it. Ball 4. Down at the ankles of Peter Adams. So not a great sequence there, walking the 8 and 9 guys in the Limestone lineup. And now Lombardo, who singled in the first inning, gets a chance here with the bases loaded in the second inning.
Yeah, not what you wanted to see there. Flip the lineup here. Somebody that's already seen Moyers coming up. Moyer's experience is going to need to kick in here and get us some weak contact.
Lombardo line drive single up the middle to start the game. Another first pitch breaking ball finds the corner for a called strike. Nelson at third. Got a 2-out single to keep the inning alive. Blair and Adams at second and first, respectively, both walked. The 0-1. Another breaking ball, another strike, 0-2. I got to say, it's probably been 50-50 at least, breaking balls to fastballs here in the first almost 40 pitches for Moyers in this outing.
Absolutely. Here's a guy, you got the leadoff guy at the plate. Got to be smart here and not relax on this 0-2 pitch.
Stays with the breaking ball and strikes out Lombardo. So both teams here through the first inning and a half leave them loaded. Still looking for our first run. See if the Bears can get it when you come back to Durham Field on the Bears Sports Network.
Cordell Harris Insurance Agency, a family-owned and operated business serving the Hickory area since 1981, where we strive to take care of you and your den like family. As an independent insurance agency, we offer a vast spectrum of coverage for your commercial and personal insurance needs with our extensive network of providers. Cordell Harris Insurance Agency is a proud sponsor of Lenoir-Rhyne Athletics. Protect your den with Cordell Harris. Go Bears!
Bottom of the second inning at Durham Field. Still looking for our first run of the day between Lenoir-Rhyne and Limestone here on the Bears Sports Network, presented by MBA Roofing. Eric Bach, Justin Hay, glad you're with us. 7, 8, 9 coming up here in the second for the Bears against Berezino. LR left the bases loaded in the first after Noah walked the bases loaded. Bears still looking for their first hit of the day. And Bryce Stober DHing for the first time in now the Bears' 10th game this season. Digs in, squares to bunt, and fouls it off. We'll do that for a hit as often as he can whenever the defense is positioned that way.
In old school baseball, traditions love Bryce Stover. Mr. Hustle, always hustling, doing the things the right way, small ball bunts, putting the ball in the gap, stretching doubles as he did this weekend.
Now Nelson, the third baseman, in front of the bag. Stober hacks and misses, and he's down 0-2. Don't forget we've got head coach Chris Ramirez coming on with us in the top of the fourth inning. Talk a little ball. Always love to have Coach on and appreciate his time. Stober goes after some high cheese and is down on strikes for the first out.
The difference between those pitches in that at-bat and the first inning is those balls were a little bit closer to the strike zone. And just gave the perception, I think, there to Bryce that they were going to hit the top of it, and he was able to chase. So some good pitches, really, at eye level.
So now David Bell started all 10 games in right field for the Bears. Goes after the first pitch, fouls it off. But Bears have been ready early in counts when Berezino has brought it into the strike zone. They just haven't really connected quite yet.
Coming off a long weekend, quick turnaround, only Monday off. Might be one of those games where
And Bell skies this ball deep center field. Kronbach at the track and leaps and makes a really good play moving back in deep center field. So David Bell just narrowly misses his second homer of the year, but it's just a long out, number 2.
it might be one of those games where it takes you a little bit longer to get that rhythm in the batter's box. Probably took yesterday off as a club and came out and take some BP this morning.
Definitely took Monday off. I think they practiced yesterday, but took Monday off after the sweep. Got a little Valentine's Day action.
That's right. Today is Wednesday.
Yeah, not Tuesday.
Shows where my head's at.
You get your wife something nice for Valentine's?
Yeah, I got her a card.
Nice.
No, I didn't buy her the rolling pin that my daughter told her we were going to get her so she could make us cookies, but I figured I would steer clear of that one.
Yeah.
I'm long enough into my marriage to know that's probably a trap.
Smart. 1-1 on Brett Urey, who gets the start today. Watches that one go by, 2-1. Brett 3 for 10 this season in his third start out in left field. Also has a pinch hit RBI. That ended up being a huge hit in Game 2 of the Saturday doubleheader against Goldie Beacon. The Bears ended up winning by 1. So he's behind that fastball, 2-2. Brett, the redshirt sophomore from Cherryville, NC. He's ready for the 2-2. He got him on strikes. Slider top of the zone. After a long, drawn-out, 30-plus pitch first inning for Berezino, he makes quick work of the Bears here in the bottom of the second. Pair of strikeouts, 1, 2, 3, and we're scoreless through 2 on the Bear Sports Network.
Hickory's Hometown Jeweler celebrates our hometown teams, college sweethearts. These couples met and fell in love in Hickory and have been together ever since. For the past 38 years, we've helped our clients celebrate a lot of milestones, and stories like these are some of our favorites. Bring your love back to where it all began. Show your college sweetheart the past as you look together to the future, and let us help you start your future here at Oz's Jewelers.
No score through 2 here at Durham Field on the Bears Sports Network, presented by MBA Roofing. Eric Bach, Justin Hay. Justin's 2022 debut on the Bears Sports Network. Hopefully you're a little kinder to me than you were to our old pal Jay-Z last year when you just flamed him on the broadcast.
You've got that backwards.
He flamed you.
Yeah.
Well, I won't do that to you.
Okay.
I guess I can't promise that, but I'll do my best. 2, 3, and 4 here against Tanner Moyers, and Burroughs off the handle beats it into the ground, and Moyers, that's about as easy of a first out as he'll ever get.
Absolutely, and continuing that efficiency on the mound for Moyer.
Efficiency.
Yeah,
that's right.
Well, I lost my train of thought.
Only 46 pitches for Tanner so far, so looking like if this trend keeps up that he's going to make it through the 5 that they hope he does. This is on the ground to short. Routine for Luis Atiles, who gets bailed out by Anthony Perrino over at first base. And hopefully Anthony's okay. But 2 pitches, 2 outs here in the top of the third.
And the question here is, Eric, are you take the next pitch?
Oh, yeah. If I'm at the plate,
yeah,
for sure I am.
Or are you expecting a grooved fastball and you're swinging? Because the old school theory on take this pitch has kind of changed throughout the course of the last few years.
I've gotten roasted by the announcers on MLB The Show too many times when I come to the plate and you have a 3-pitch inning. And taking all the way there is James McCallum for a strike.
Yeah, I think this early in the game with as efficient as Moyer has been.
There you go.
With his outs, you got to get that pitch count up, which I'm not sure getting into the Bears bullpen is exactly what you want to do. But
yeah, there's a breaking ball quickly, 0-2.
Little Johnny Cueto delivery there from Moyer.
Bears do like to change up their looks. That's something I asked Eric Beasley about, and he said that it's definitely intentional as McCallum stays alive. He was a strikeout victim of Moyer's to end the first inning last time.
And you get a quick pitch there. I mean, he didn't even lift his leg, went straight to the plate. That'll throw off your timing quick. I wasn't athletic enough to do that, Eric.
Oh, God, neither was I. 1-2, outside. Pardon me, that was 0-2. Now it's 1-2. Had a tiny bit of rain this afternoon around 1 o'clock, but clouds have broken, and obviously, as you see, the sun is shining, and the 1-2 lunged at, and McCallum barely stays alive.
And things in baseball that can go unnoticed early in the game is the ability to extend an inning, which gets that leadoff spot back up late in the game in the 8th and the 9th inning when you need a hit. So the Saints here looking to extend this inning and not go down in order.
Bears went down quickly in order last half inning. Moyers pauses and finishes it with a nasty breaking ball at the bottom of the zone to retire the side. The 5th strikeout for Tanner. He's got 3 shutout innings under his belt so far. Bears will try to get their first hit of the game when you come back on the Bear Sports Network.
I'm Rob with Center Street Eats. We're located at 2250 North Center Street in Viewmont. We offer fast dine-in and carry-out service. Usually your prepared meals at lunch from 11 to 3 are ready within 5 minutes. Center Street Eats also offers prepared meals and snacks, protein bars, smoothies, and so much more. We can accommodate most allergy restrictions and can adjust our weekly menu to comply with the most current trending diets like keto and paleo. Street Eats has helped fuel the sports programs at Lenoir-Rhyne for over 10 years now. We work with every program on campus, and we look forward to working with them again.
Second time through the lineup here for the Bears, as the top of the order is due up here in the bottom of the third against Noah Berezino, who walked 3 guys in the first inning, but was able to get around it and then set the Bears down in order in the second. So LR, the team that is second in the SAC thus far this season in total hits, still in search of their first one. Here's Cuda digs in and waves and misses. Looked like maybe a changeup to start off to Cuda there at the bottom of the zone, but Berezino's shown some really good stuff here through 2+.
And I think you can see why head coach Brett Harker is running the true freshman out there in the last 2 innings especially, as he's down in the zone, mixing pitches well. Hard to get a read on velocity from this angle, but doing a really good job keeping the Bears off balance.
Cuda hits a ball a mile high down the right field line and foul ground. Can they get there? They cannot. McCallum had it in his glove and dropped it. So new life for Wade Cuda.
and a drop that could prove costly with this man at the plate.
No kidding.
Anytime you can help your pitcher get a guy like Wade Cuda out of the box. I know that's a long run there, a tough play looking directly into the sun. But I guarantee you McCallum would like to have that one back as it bounced out of his glove if you talked to him.
Yeah, definitely right in the web and just could not squeeze it. Cuda grounded out to third base to start the Bear offensive attack in the first and is ready for the 1-2. Wave and a miss. Blair caught it clean. And the third strikeout for Berezino here in the third.
And the little bit of wildness early in the game is I think, been a positive thing for him as he's starting to now pitch in the zone.
For sure.
As the Bears are a little off in the first inning, seeing a lot of things high. Now he's really pounding the bottom of the strike zone.
Well, I think that's a good point because I think, as a hitter, you see the guy be all over the place in the first inning and you don't want to go up there and swing in a bad pitch. So the Bears maybe are thinking a little bit more at the plate than they have been recently. That was actually the fourth strikeout for Berezino. I miscounted. Cole Laskowski is ahead 1-0. And now 2-0 as he misses upstairs. Cole's only 5'7", so his zone's a little bit smaller than other people.
Give Blair credit. He's getting the target. He's getting low behind the plate, getting him, Berezino, a good low target.
Now 3-0, same spot, same result. Just a touch high.
The techniques of catching has transformed a lot since I caught and since you caught. I mean, we didn't really teach that.
But it's a strike, 3-1.
But it's transcended down from Yadier Molina and some of the catchers at the pro level who the analytics of how stealing a strike is so important.
Are you in favor of robot umpires? I would think that you're not.
Absolutely not.
I didn't think so. There's another walk to Laskowski, who has now walked in both of his plate appearances. That was going to be – I already kind of knew the answer when I asked, but I am also not in favor of robot umpires. I mean, baseball is all about error, right? Error on the mound, error at the plate, and obviously you want umpires to be as accurate as they can be, but the human error of it is part of the game and always should be, in my opinion.
And also the ability for the catcher to develop a good relationship.
Sure.
As you alluded to earlier with Blair at the plate, I think there's that piece of baseball is important, and the ability to get a strike here or there because of how you've spoken to the umpire early in the game and built that relationship throughout.
Ginesta swung and missed at the first pitch. He also walked, one of the 3 walks in the first inning as Laskowski's back to first safely. Cole stole his second base of the season. Last time it was an easy steal because the ball got past Blair on a wild pitch, but he was on the move on the pitch and was still given the stolen base, obviously. 1-1 on Ginesta.
Don't be surprised to see Coach Ramirez try to get something going here, hit and run.
1-1 count.
Just to kind of get everything going. Sometimes you just need to force a swing here or there to get a guy to really focus on making contact to get things started.
Laskowski stays put. Ginesta watches strike 2 on the outside corner.
Tough pitch. I'm not sure Ginesta could have done a whole lot with that pitch. You'd had to, if it was at the top of the zone there, would have been a tough pitch to get the barrel to.
Drew's shown the ability. His power has been to the pole field, but has shown the ability to go the other way as well, which is why you see his average above 450. But strikes out there. Another good pitch from Berezino, who really has had the Bears off balance here through the first 2 2/3.
And Berezino just consistently inconsistent enough up and down in the zone. And let's give the young man credit. Let's say that he's doing it on purpose, that he's changing eye levels and throwing breaking balls down. He took a strike from the very top part of the zone and then buried a breaking ball in the dirt there to get a really good hitter.
Clairno now watches a strike in the low outside part of the zone. Nick bounced into a fielder's choice in the first. That was a big second out for Berezino after he had walked 2 men in a row before Clairno came up. Quickly 0-2.
And Perrino's really found his rhythm, rocking and firing, pitching quick. They can't get him back on the rubber fast enough and get the sign in here.
Yeah, probably less than 10 seconds between pitches at this point. Laskowski runs. Clarno pops it up, foul behind home plate and out of play.
You hear Coach Ramirez telling Clarno, just get to the next pitch, foul off a good pitch. If he throws the slider down, just foul it off and get to the next one.
See if Laskowski's on the move. He is. The pitch is low and outside. The throw is not in time. Laskowski steals his second bag of the day. Very close play out there at second base, but just got the arm in according to the umpire.
Good job sliding to the back of the bag there. Slow. The throw took.
Take a look at our Spangler replay. Oh, close.
Yeah. Throw took you a little bit to the shortstop side there and was able to get the hand in.
Clarno now evens it up at 2-2. So now an opportunity for Nick to knock in the game's first run. Sporting that big red beard. Pops it up right side. Another chance for the right side of this defense. Shugan giving chase, but it lands harmlessly foul in the Limestone bullpen. That one was not catchable, unlike the first one.
Yeah. There's a lot of foul territory on that side of the field.
Yeah.
Doesn't have the fence around the bullpen area like we do on the third base side. And that's a long way to run, especially the right fielder McCallum being pulled almost straight up there in line with second and third base.
So 2-2 on Clarno. With Laskowski on second base. And the pitch way upstairs, full count. Past few pitches have looked more like Berezino from the first inning as opposed to the last couple.
And maybe just the uncomfortableness of a runner at second base. And, you know, those type of things can throw pitchers off because you're having to pay attention. Maybe you're getting looks from your shortstop or your second baseman. You know, they're starting to control the game a little bit different from the middle infield.
Full count pitch to Clarno. Popped foul. That was probably ball 4 up at the letters, but he went after it and stayed alive. LR's best start since 2017. That 2017 team won its first 9 games. Bears 8 out of their first 9. Clarno trying to give him the lead here today. Another foul ball just narrowly misses the light post behind the first base dugout. And now the 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up to Nick.
Great job by Clarno there to take the pitch down in the zone, foul it off. Really tough pitch. Get to the next pitch and hope to see a mistake here.
Another full count delivery. Throws his bat at it to shallow right field. McCallum coming in and makes a nice running catch in the gap to retire the side. So a good at-bat from Nick Clarno, but the Bears scoreless again. We got head coach Chris Ramirez coming up next half inning here on the Bears Sports Network.
If you play hard, if you use your feet to chase fitness goals, if you stand all day at work, introducing True Energy Infrared Technology Socks. These may be the best socks you ever wear. Our yarn is infused with infrared nanoparticles. Your body's natural heat ignites these tiny particles, producing infrared energy that improves circulation and stimulates cellular recovery. It's not magic, it's rocket science. The perfect sock for your active life, for fitness, performance, recovery. Proven innovation to ignite your true energy.
It's the top of the fourth inning here at Durham Field, so that means we are joined by the head man. There he is, head coach Chris Ramirez. Coach, thanks as always for your time.
Yep, thanks for having me.
We've got ourselves a little pitcher's duel here through 3 innings here at Durham Field.
Yeah, no, nothing. Heading into the fourth here. Their pitcher's doing a good job keeping us off balance. We've had a few guys in scoring position, just haven't got the hit with 2 outs, but Tanner's pitching good, so we're in a good one.
What have you liked from Tanner so far? We were guessing that it was about 50-50 between breaking ball, fastball so far from him.
Yeah, that's Tanner. He mixes it up, and he can pitch, frontwards, backwards, fastball, curveball. Keeps guys off balance, changeup. If you ever get a chance to stand behind home plate to watch Tanner, his fastball dances. Sometimes you don't know if it's a slider, changeup, or a fastball. He's just got that natural movement.
Cranebach lines a single up the middle. Maybe, the other day you were on, Coach. We had a couple of really good outfield plays and outfield assists. So they're just setting you up to be able to call it again, I think.
Yeah, we might have to mix it up if we keep getting on and they get hits. We have to do a different inning.
Yeah,
maybe do it when we're on offense.
Well, we haven't. You can have a little something out there, Coach, in third base. I'm not sure you want to be running through your signs on TV, but I'm sure we can come up with it.
We can do it. Our signs are hard to pick because I don't know if our players know.
No, that's a good point. Peyton Reel digs in. It's the leadoff man is on third, hit for Limestone. So Saints, they haven't found a win yet this year, but these are all college baseball players on scholarship that are going to give you a competitive game about every night.
Yeah, for sure. And those guys, they hit last season, and they've played some close ones this year. So we know they're ready to play.
Bunt is on, the runner goes, and the throw just a little bit high. So a stolen base for Cranebach. We got Justin Hay up here with us too.
Baseball guy.
That's right.
My guy.
Yeah, enjoying a pitcher's duel to this point, Coach. We've seen a little bit of everything on the mound. Some consistently inconsistent, mixing up high levels and some really good pitching. I'm sure you wish you could have got a couple timely hits there with runners in scoring position, but after a long weekend, you want to see what the team's made of.
Yeah, no, we keep getting guys on base and in scoring position. That hit's going to come, so we're early, and our guys are, we're making their pitcher work. His pitch count's probably up a little bit.
Over 60, yep. Another swing or wave and a miss on a bunt attempt there from Reel. Both teams have left 4 men on base through 3. Each team has left the bases loaded. It's Reel, who flew out to right field in his first at-bat, is up. But a little bit chillier, Coach, than the weekend, but still a pretty good February day for baseball.
Yeah, a little chilly, but it's nice out. We got suns popping in and out, clear skies, so, it's a good day to play.
Gave the guys the day off Monday, as I understand it, correct, after the series?
Yeah, Monday.
Little Valentine's day off.
Yep, Monday off day, a quick little workout yesterday, get us ready for today. In the weight room on Tuesday, we'll be in there tomorrow. Get ready for the weekend set Friday, Saturday.
Got Shippensburg coming in here this weekend. What do you know about them?
They've pitched it so far. They've played.
Still another bunt popped up. Can Clarno run it down? But Moyers can. Oh, man. Tanner coming off the mound, fielding his position there, Coach.
Yeah, he's came out of high school. He was a hitter and a pitcher at the junior college for a little bit. So, he's one of those guys that can make plays and move around. So that's a big one right there. It's a big out.
It really helps when you have those athletes on the mound, Coach.
Yep, like you, I heard.
Yeah, I probably made that play standing up there. I don't have to slide.
Now Justin was camping under that ball by the time it came down, I assume.
Yeah, Tanner likes to show off a little, so that was probably for the cameras.
I like it. Help himself out there. Get out of that bunt situation. Let your third baseman back up a little bit.
Yeah, just gives us a chance to play a little big on the infield here.
Joe Nelson, who singled with 2 outs to keep the rally going in the second inning, watches a pitch downstairs for ball 1. Seen some good defense so far throughout the season in the homestand, Laskowski's been great. We saw Perrino bail out Attiles earlier with that really good pick at first base. 2-0.
Yeah, Perrino's really done a good job over there moving into first and, give us that little defensive pickup on the corner. He's been swinging the bat, too, so definitely good to see.
So Coach Bees will head out to talk to Tanner. What do you think the message is here from Coach?
I think it's to get the hitter out. I think he's probably trying to tell him to get this guy out somehow.
That is good advice, I think.
Let's get Houston up. We're gonna get Houston hot down in the pen.
He's been great so far.
And Coach, talk a little bit about these midweek games. I know we're early in the year and you're still getting on that roll, and what they do for your program and what they do for some guys and the ability to see some guys in different situations.
Yeah, no, we midweeks, you get to stay in a good rhythm. You don't just have to play, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and wait, 5 days. And you can keep in a rhythm as a hitter, and keep your guys in games on the mound, and it's nice to have them back. Last year we had a 40-game schedule with the the COVID protocols, and it's good to have 50 games back, and we have a midweek game every midweek this season. So that's a good thing to have back.
That was a 2-0 curveball that Moyers just threw there for a strike. So the message received, at least for that pitch. This one's a mile high in the air down the left field line. Yuri, will he have enough room? He sure will. In foul ground, makes a nice play. The runner stays put, 2 outs. So Moyers takes Coach Bees' advice about getting the batter out.
Yep. That's the name of the game when you're pitching, I think.
That's right. You do that, you're going to last a long time in this game. So now Hunter Blair, the catcher, with 2 outs. We noticed, Coach, earlier that Tanner Moyers changing up his delivery. Is that something that you guys have coached into him, or is that something he's doing on his own?
No, that's we added that last season. Again, he's just an athletic pitcher, so he's one of those guys that can mix up his mechanics and still have feel for the strike zone. And not everybody can do that on the mound. Sometimes they got to be repeat on the mechanic side. But Tanner's one of those athletic guys that can do. It's just really it's like an off-speed pitch. You're trying to get the hitter off timing, and sometimes you can throw a fastball with regular mechanics, and then you can come back and throw the same fastball but mix up your mechanics, and it feels like a completely different pitch.
Yeah, we saw him give a double pump, and then the very next pitch, he just quick pitched to the plate, didn't even do a leg lift. And the ability to do that just really messes with the hitter's timing.
Yeah, for sure. No, and that's his style on the mound. He's not one of our arms that is 90 and 92. He's more of a mix it up and keep the hitters off balance. So it's a good weapon for him.
Down 3-0 to Blair here. So you got Attiles, Perrino, and Stober coming up. What are you looking for from Luis Attiles to lead off the next inning for you guys in the box?
Yeah, we just need to keep having good at bats and find ways to get on base, and at some point we're going to get a couple big hits and score a little bit.
Strike one at the top of the zone. Blair walked in his first at bat, so trying to get him out for the first time today.
Justin, what are you throwing here?
I'm throwing another breaking ball, first base open here.
Moyers agrees, and there you go, ball 4. So Blair walks, and Adams, the 9-hitter, comes up with 2 men on. But, as you said, Justin, with the base open, not the worst thing in the world. Now you got the force everywhere.
Yeah, I think as you've got an experienced guy who was a conference arm for you last year because of the 4-game series, moving into this role, I think you've got a little bit more ability to allow him to pitch around the first base open, not just throw the dead red fastball there, and still have some confidence that he can get us out of this inning.
Yeah, no, it's
bunting is Adams. Conclerno wisely lets it go. I thought he was going to grab it there, and that probably would not have been a smart move. So
no, good decision there.
Great decision. Coach, the the grounds guy here did a great job sloping that turf.
I knew that there was going to be a way that he was going to get this in.
Yeah, Garrett Bear and I, as we put this AstroTurf field in last year, we made sure those sloped a little bit for us right there, Coach.
Nice little slope. Yep, that's in the game, the scouting report for sure.
Yeah.
Third base line has a slant to the left.
Yeah, as long as you keep it in the green, you're okay.
All
Get
right.
in the brown, we know it's going foul. No.
Gotcha. So all the future opponents of Durham Field take note. 0-1 on Peter Adams, the shortstop.
Might be last guy here. Last guy. Make sure Bees knows. Probably last guy.
He'll one pitch. Fastball down at the knees. Strike two. That was pitch number 70 right there for Tanner. So don't want to stretch him too long here in the midweek, because he's still going to be a piece in your bullpen too, Coach.
Yeah, no, he can be, and we don't like to look ahead too much. We like to go after whatever game we're playing, and so today's game is the most important game of the season right now.
Off the end of the bat, still 0-2. What is your favorite uniform combo that you guys have, Coach?
This is a new one right here. We got the camo top last season, the short pants and stirrups this season.
This is a good look. I am partial to the red jerseys. Those are my favorite.
Yep. No, those stand out. Those stand out for sure.
I'm more of a classic. I like the pins that we broke out.
The pins are good too. Those are my 1A.
You'll get those on Friday this week. The pins.
Warriors. Ooh, just a touch outside. Bit of a tight zone today, Coach.
It has been. Both ways, though.
Yeah, it has for
ways.
sure. Been both ways. Let's see.
I think we saw that early as pitchers tried to figure out where it was. Like you said, it's consistent, but it's early in the game. It's figuring out where that is.
And there's a swing and a miss for strike three.
All right, guys, we got a zero. That's a big one.
That's a big zero. Thanks so much, Coach.
All right, thanks a lot.
Coach Chris Ramirez will try to coach the Bears to another win today as they come up in the bottom of the fourth when you come back to Durham Field.
Kia in Hickory. We want to see you driving a new Kia or, hey, a quality pre-owned Kia. We've got a huge selection of new and pre-owned Kias. You got to get to Paramount Kia in Hickory, Highway 70, ParamountKia.com.
Moret Stadium is an iconic part of LR Athletics.
Justin. Bottom of the fourth. Still scoreless here at Durham Field this Wednesday afternoon on the Bear Sports Network, presented by MBA Roofing. Eric Bach, Justin Hay. Justin, you show up and all of a sudden we get a pitcher's duel here this afternoon.
Well, I guess I'll leave. Believe me, I'm not above that. If it's going to help the team win, you're not a superstitious guy, I don't think.
Not really, no.
I'm not either. I'm a creature of habit, and if I'm not here and we're scoring runs, then...
Atiles has the first hit of the day, so all it took was us talking about it a little bit. And Luis Atiles picks up where he left off on Sunday and has the first base knock of the day for the Bears here in the bottom of the fourth. So Attiles with the leadoff single here against Berezino. And now Anthony Perrino, who grounds the ball left side. Nelson scoops it up down to his knees and starts a double play. That was unconventional there for Nelson, but it got the job done and 2 outs.
Great job. Used the turf to his advantage there. Knew where the hop was going to be and just kind of stuck his glove in front of it. Great job picking that ball up and starting the double play, in that instance being the sure one and letting the second baseman be quick there and worry about the second out. A lot of times you see a guy make that play and hurry that throw into right field, but a great job there by Nelson.
Nelson, the junior from Woodruff, South Carolina. Stober watches a strike on the inner half. He's got a unique look to him there, Nelson does. Would you call that a mullet coming out of the back of his hat?
Yeah.
I think it's a mullet. Stober down 0-2. A mullet that's in a... Is it a mullet if it's in a ponytail? I don't... There's a lot going on there.
I've had the same haircut since I was 7.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not the one to be asking about hairstyles.
Okay.
But to me, he looks like a guy that would be a good third baseman. He's got a little grit to him. Wasn't afraid to throw his body in front of that one.
No. What do you tell the barber when you go? Little bit off the sides, a little bit off the top, call it good?
Yeah.
Stober swings and misses, and even though he gives up the first hit of the game, Berezino only faces 3 batters in the bottom of the 4th. All of a sudden, we're through 4. Still no score here on the Bear Sports Network.
Break great with Carolina West Wireless. Great new phones and a great customer experience, all on our great nationwide high-speed network. Stop by today and get big savings on select Samsung smartphones, like $350 off the Samsung Galaxy S20 and S20 Plus, and $350 off the Note 20 and Note 20 Ultra. The great savings continue with 4 lines of unlimited data for just $35 a month per line. Celebrate great savings and go stay connected wherever your travels take you.
Our first Carolina West call to the bullpen today brings the lefty Caleb Cockerham out for his 5th appearance of 2022. Pitched 2 2/3 perfect innings over the weekend in 2 separate appearances against Goldie Beacom. He's given up 1 hit thus far in 4 2/3, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts for the freshman from Clemens, NC. He's a true freshman and has already turned into one of the most trusted guys out of the pen in the early part of this season for Coach Ram.
Yeah, and that goes back into the fall and early spring. Just
Sure.
The ability for Coach Ram to run out here and play a couple exhibition games in the fall and see guys. Age classification doesn't matter. You're looking for guys that are pounding the strike zone and gain that trust early, and obviously it was well warranted as he's proved in his first couple outings.
Facing the top of the order for Limestone. This is the 3rd time through the lineup for the Saints. Both teams have had base runners. Limestone's left 6 men on base through 4, and the Bears have left 4 on through 4. So we've had a fair share of foot traffic on the base pass thus far, but obviously, as you see, nobody's found the scoreboard yet. Lefty on lefty matchup here as Lombardo watches the first pitch bounce in for a ball. Cockerham pitched. You know, it's kind of rare for Coach Ram to use a reliever for 2 innings. It's normally 1 inning, but he left Cockerham out there for a 2nd inning and then lifted him in favor of Michael Allen the other night, and then we were talking about that today. Coach Ram and I were, how Allen comes in and the second pitch he throws gives up a home run as the first run that he's given up this year. So obviously you play the percentages always, but sometimes the percentages laugh back in your face.
It's a great thing about this game is that even the times you think you have it figured out and the numbers say this, it will surprise you every day at the ballpark.
1-1, now 1-2. Perfect location there as Lombardo watches it go by. Lombardo's got a hit in this game, led the game off with a single, stole second base, but was stranded there in the first as Moyers struck out the side after that. Tanner finishes just giving up 3 hits, 6 strikeouts in 4 innings. And now, 1 man, 1 strikeout for Cockerham here in the top of the 5th.
Great breaking ball there. Started off behind him and broke to the outside part of the plate. After seeing Moyers for 2 at-bats, tough to come in and see a different window, especially from the left side there for the left-hander.
Caleb, not a big guy, 5'8", but really does bring it. A lot of velocity from the left side. It's Clark Burroughs, who's 0 for 2, leading hitter so far this season on the Limestone team as we hit on in the open, watches a pitch downstairs for ball 1.
Love to see a reliever come in, pounding the strike zone, down in the zone. That'll give you a lot of confidence as a coach.
2-0. You know, he has really earned the trust that he's given. Came in a pretty high leverage situation in the opening series in Emmanuel, his first college appearance, and shined in that moment. Got the Bears out of a jam late in one of their wins at Emmanuel.
There's nothing like getting some confidence in your first outing either of the year, no matter your classification.
Just missed a touch inside there and is down 3-0. Coach Ram did make a good point about the tight zone. It has been both ways. So I guess all you can ask for really is consistency, and I think these two have gotten that so far today from home plate umpire. And a 4-pitch walk to Clark Burroughs. So just the second walk issued this season for Caleb Cockerham. And Limestone's had men on base in 4 out of the 5 innings now in this game.
And something that you don't want to play with fire too long. Eventually,
right.
you will get burned. So, wouldn't mind seeing one of those nice 5-4-3 double plays here to get us out of the inning.
Bears got their first hit last half inning, but was the very next pitch erased by one of those 5-4-3 double plays. And Shugan, first baseman, 3-hitter, watches a pitch up high for ball 1. He's 0 for 2, strikeout, ground out. Both teams have fared decently well at home in this series. Right at the knees, 2 balls and a strike.
Great job by Perrino to go out there and give him a breather early in the count, 2-0, get back locked in. Sometimes that's all you need is a little short breath and then back at it.
Runner goes. The pitch is grounded to second base. Laskowski misses the tag, but will still throw out Shugan at first base. It was a well-executed hit and run there for Limestone, but Shugan just needed to get it about 10 more feet to the right and would have had a base knock out of it. Absolutely. If you take a look at the Spangled replay, the ground ball took Laskowski right there to the bag, but running was Burroughs, and he was able to beat it. So 2 outs now for McCallum, who had that mishap in right field a couple innings ago, but it didn't hurt him as Cuda, the man that hit the ball, ended up striking out. Went too far around there for a strike.
Yeah, he got helped. I think it was the very next pitch, so it only cost his pitcher one more pitch, and that's kept us close. We've kept some of those guys that were really hot this weekend for the Bears off the bases.
Burroughs at second base, takes off to third. The throw is missed by Ynesta, but it's just squirts over to Atiles there at shortstop, so Burroughs stays put at third base, but the first run of the game is 90 feet away from home plate. So a stolen base there for Burroughs. If you look at him, he's not, doesn't look like a stereotypical base stealer, but has taken off twice in this half inning.
And 2 really good jumps. Obviously, it's something they work on. Got that second hop there at second base, and he didn't get checked up. So swipe the bag is probably something they're teaching, and got the green light on any time they get that second or third hop.
1-1 on McCallum. And the pitch. Perfect location, down and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cockerham trying to strand a runner at third. Limestone's already left 6 men on base today. 2-2.
Interesting alignment in the outfield right now. We've got playing center field, Flair a little bit to the right center field gap.
More than a little bit. He's in the gap.
The left center field gap is wide open as the left fielders we're kind of playing deep in left field, but not in the gap.
Yeah, it's an interesting location for sure. This Cuda in center field is in right center field. And the 2-2 pitch. Ground ball, foul. Right side, outside the first base bag. Limestone early had some action in the bullpen, but obviously with the way Berezino's been rolling, that has ceased out there.
Yeah, he's settled in, and that's where we talked about early in the first inning. Let him off the hook there, let him get comfortable, and ever since then, he's been doing a heck of a job keeping the Bears off the bases.
Full count. Slider misses up and away to McCallum, who has struck out in both of his at-bats so far, but has a chance to knock in the game's first run. Runner on third. Full count. Big pitch is a grounder right side. Slow roller for Laskowski. All in one motion ends the inning. So Cockerham issues a walk that reaches third base, and we are still looking for our first run today. Bears trying to get it here on the Bears Sports Network.
Hometown Ticketing makes it fast and easy to buy tickets on your school's website or in the new Hometown Fan app. It's simple. Just search for your school, buy your tickets, and they'll be right there in your account, ready to be scanned when you get to your event. Download the Hometown Fan app today.
Eight, 9, and 1 here in the bottom of the fifth against Noah Berezino. He's only given up 1 hit through 4. Bell, Yuri, Cuda due up here in the Bottom of the 5th, and David Bell watches the first pass ball bounce in for ball 1. Bears trying to get a little bit of momentum going here. The dugout's got some energy, Justin, but there's been really nothing going offensively, hitting-wise, for the Bears. They've had men on base as Bell flares the ball center field. Kronbach drifts over and makes the play for the first out, but it's been a lot of that right there.
Yeah, and you're just looking for that one bloop or, hard-hit ball that gets everything going. It could be either one at this point. You just need some sort of catalyst. The energy's there. I mean, but I think at this point the goal is to get into the bullpen and see if you can have some better success as that pitch count is rising.
There's a line drive down the line and fair up against the wall for Brett Urey. Extra bases coming. Easy one-out double here for Brett. And there you go. Maybe that's the hit that gets the Bears going. First double of the year for Urey.
Absolutely. Just couldn't draw it up any better than that. Get a double out of the 9-hole to bring Ray Cuda to the plate. Just a matter of time before Wade finds the barrel of one.
0 for 2 today. He was hitting a pedestrian .481 coming into the game, so that's probably down to about, .460 at this point. He had swung at the first 2 pitches that he saw. Watches that one, find the inside corner for a called strike, but Bearzino has really mixed up his pitches well. Started him off, looked like a changeup there. And this is a ball to deep right field. McCallum back. This should easily move the runner as he drifts and barely snags it, heading towards the foul line. So Urey into third base, standing up. And with 2 outs, a chance for Laskowski to drive in the game's first run.
Something we talked about early in the game and in the pregame was the ability for the Bears to get 2-out hits and timely hits. If we had 2 more timely hits this game, or 1 timely hit, we could easily be up 2-0 right now. Now the Saints could probably say this, could say the same thing. So no timely hits yet. The first one to do so will take the lead.
Limestone's left 7 men on base through 5. LR has left 4 men on through 4. Laskowski watches that one fly high for ball 1. A good play there by Blair to keep the baseball in front of him.
It's important to moving that runner up 90 feet there. Everybody gets a little bit more tense on the mistakes.
2-0. Limestone had Clark Burroughs at third base last half inning but couldn't get him home. Same situation here. 2 outs. Runner on third. Laskowski has walked in both of his plate appearances, so he's been on twice. And is ahead again, 2-0. And the pitch. Flare towards left center field. Kronbach moving over, and he makes the catch to retire the side. So again, the Bears leave a man on third base. Can't get the first run of the game home. We're through 5, no score on the Bears Sports Network. Another Carolina West call to the bullpen brings Jackson Reed, big, tall, 6'7" righty from Mooresville, NC, on for his 6th appearance of 2022. Only given up 1 earned run in 5 1/3 innings thus far, including 2 innings over the weekend against Goldie Beacom. Just 1 hit allowed. Bears trying to hold the offense in here in this scoreless ball game. Eric Bach, Justin Hay, glad you're with us. And Justin, Jackson Reed has been lights out thus far out of the bullpen this year for Chris Ramirez.
Yeah, and something that I think Coach Ramirez kind of saw coming last year as Reed's ability kind of started to show, and then this fall had a really good fall, and has been able to show that in the first few outings. Not only does he throw the ball hard, but he hides the ball well if you stand behind the plate, and you don't see it till the last second with a quick arm action.
Kronbach was way behind the first pitch and missed it for strike 1. He's got 1 of the 3 hits in this game for Limestone. That misses a touch outside, 1-1. Also stole second base back in the 4th. That was the inning that Limestone left 2 men on base, including Brant. And the 1-1. Oh, that hit him on the left elbow. So, bit of an errant fastball there from Reed puts the leadoff man on here in the 6th.
Yeah, not the start you're wanting as a relief pitcher coming out of the pen to get the leadoff guy on. Obviously, we expect to see the Saints try to get some small ball going here. Probably expect a bunt here, trying to move some things around. At this point, it seems like 1 or 2 runs is going to win this thing, so wouldn't be surprised.
He nested third, ready for the bunt. Here it comes, right side. Reed has to just chase it, fumbles with it for a moment, but underhands it to Perrino for the out. So good job fielding his position there by Reed to stick with it. Bears have been good fielding-wise on the mound today, but a successful sacrifice bunt for Peyton Reel. Let's take a look at the Spangler replay. Just long-limbed Jackson Reed was able to reach out for that one.
Absolutely, and just like you teach that, the pitcher's the only one that's got a chance to make that play, and a lot of times see that ball squeezed by there on the push bunt, but Reed able to field his position well and keep us out of a first and second situation with no outs.
So Nelson now, who has the 3rd hit of the game. So Lombardo, Kronbach, who's at second, and Nelson, who's at the plate, have the hits in this game for Limestone, and watches the first pitch miss high and outside for ball 1.
One thing we've seen from Limestone today is that they're not afraid to take off and steal a bag if they get the right look.
Handcuffed him that time, but this could be trouble down the right field line, but it lands harmlessly foul as Perrino gave chase, but right off the handle there for Nelson, a ball and a strike.
And the runner at second doing a good job kind of getting Reed's attention there, but I would think he's probably 1 or 2 steps away from having the green light to try and still third here and put a little bit more pressure on the defense, having that runner at third base with 1 out.
We saw Limestone try to do that last time. They were up with Burroughs, who is slower than Kronbach. And there he goes. Pitch is a called strike. The throw, not in time. So, you called it, Justin. Kronbach got the jump, and he swipes third base.
Presumably slower.
Well, I think that presuming, I don't think we have to presume anymore.
I'll agree with you there.
Okay, there's the Spangler replay. Tough one for Clarno to throw on inside to the righty.
Yeah, that bag was stolen off the jump. Clarno didn't have much of a chance. Made a good effort. It would have been right on top of the bag, and stepping around the right-handed hitter there would have been really tough to make that throw.
How about that camera work, too, by our fill-in? Madison's just doing a fantastic job. Nelson chops it right side foul.
You can tell the importance of this run here in the top of the 6th. Infield's in. Runs have been at a premium today, obviously, as either team have scored. So trying to cut that run down at the plate, keep this a 0-0 ball game.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised, honestly, that the infield is in at this point, but it's a calculated risk for sure. 1-2. Barely tapped foul. And we have a balk, I think. So, kind of an anticlimactic way for the game's first run to be brought home, but Reed balks in the game's first run here in the 6th.
Umpire saying he didn't come set there. I think it's borderline, but it's close for the first run. But just the importance of stealing third there when you can, just being 90 feet away. There's so many different ways to score from third.
And staying alive is Nelson, man. He's a pesky player. Seen him make a couple good plays at third base, foul off some tough pitches.
Absolutely. It's been a gamer today, finding ways to foul off a pretty tough breaking ball there.
1-2 again. Just throws his bat at it and chops it to second. Laskowski flips it over to first for the second out. But, I mean, that is the definition of manufacturing a run there for Limestone. They get hit by a pitch, sacrifice the guy from first to second, steal third, and the guy scores on a bunt. Or on a balk, not a bunt. I mean, that is the essence of a manufactured run right there.
Absolutely, and you have to assume that the run scores there on that ground ball without the balk too.
Probably gets through if the infield was in.
Absolutely. Not sure if it would have been enough to be a double. Looks like we got a pinch hit here.
Nope, we don't. Blair's still.
That's right. That's the catcher, Blair,
who has walked in both of his plate appearances, so yet to be retired today. Limestone looking for their first victory of 2022, and what a big one it would be here against the LR team that has, I think, recalibrated their expectations to raise them based on the first 9 games of this season. 1-1 as Blair fouls the second pitch straight back over the screen.
Timing-wise, Blair was dead on that one.
Yeah.
Look to see a breaking ball or something off speed here trying to throw him off.
There's the breaking ball. Checked the swing and did not go. 2-1.
Reed not having a bad inning here, just struggling a little bit, falling behind in the count. Again to Blair.
Yeah, just the hit by pitch has been his only downfall in this inning. Now he's behind 3-1.
Not as sharp as I think we've seen Jackson Reed at times. I'm sure he would tell you that as well. But the ability to get out of this inning right here would be huge. Only a 1-run deficit.
Ball 4. Touch low. And the second free pass of the inning for Jackson Reed.
As tight as the strike zone's been today, I'm surprised it's a 1-run game because it is a tight zone and forcing hitters, the pitchers, to kind of pound the zone. But every pitcher we've seen has been able to be in the zone with multiple pitches, I think, which has allowed them to keep runners off base or from getting timely hits when we did have runners in scoring position.
It's the bottom 2 guys in the lineup for Limestone. Blair, who has now walked 3 times in this game, and Adams, who walked as well. They've only been retired once. Now, Adams was a big out that the Bears got in the 4th. That was when Coach Ram was on with us to get them out of a sticky situation there. Just a touchdown again for ball 1.
Blair, with 5 walks coming into the game, is obviously a catcher who knows the zone, has the inside look at which pitch is a strike on defense. So I'd say that's what you're looking for at the bottom of your lineup is people that just find ways to get on base.
No doubt. Leaning off of first base there was Blair, but it wasn't a great throw back to first base. And he's safe, and now is a little bit worse for wear. Might have pulled something over there at first base. Not sure what happened.
Like he jammed his finger diving back in the bag, maybe.
So Adams at the plate and leans out of the way of that inside fastball. 2-0. Peter, the freshman from North Augusta, South Carolina. Went to Fox Creek High School and is starting shortstop today for Limestone. 2-0. Right down the pipe, 2-1. Sun's starting to slowly set. And I think I just saw you turn the lights on
Technology is great.
Yeah. I was about to say the light should be coming on any second, and then I saw you opening your phone to do that. That's what happens when they give you the keys to the castle.
Yeah, that's the fun part sometimes until they cut off in the middle of
the
a game.
Is the 10 o'clock timer on?
Yeah, if we get close to 10 o'clock, remind me.
Where's Eddie? 2-1. Just a touch low, 3-1. I know Eddie's around here somewhere. He's never going to live that down. For those that don't know, the lights in the middle of overtime of a women's soccer game this past fall went off just kitty corner from us. You see in the background there, they actually are practicing in the background of that shot. And the 3-1. Inner half strike, full count, and now Blair will be in motion on the pitch here with a full count and 2 outs.
We should be okay with the 10 o'clock, but I
we should be. Don't knocking on some stuff here. This is a close game. Runner goes. Pitch is strike 3. So Reed gives up the first run of the day. And Limestone has taken a 1-0 lead. Still plenty of time to go for the Bears. They'll try to knock things up or take the lead when you come back to Durham Field on the Bear Sports Network.
Hey Bears fans, Dave here with Everett Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac, your local hometown dealer since 1967. Come see us in Hickory or Morganton to check out all of GM's hottest new products, the area's largest selection of pre-owned vehicles, and service you can depend on. Visit us online at everettchevy.com. Good luck to the Bears this season, and remember, if you didn't get an Everett deal, you didn't get a deal at all. Go Bears!
One change defensively here for Limestone at the bottom of the 6th as Berezino's still on the hill. We saw Blair get a little shaken up at first base when he was diving back after the pickoff attempt last half inning, and now he'll come out. So James McCallum, who is in right field, moves to catcher, and Brock Balsley will come in and play right field for Limestone as 3, 4, and 5 are due up for the Bears here this half inning in the 6th. Trailing for the first time is the first pitch that Berezino throws. The new catcher, McCallum, flies to the backstop for ball 1.
And tough here for a pitcher who's found his rhythm to all of a sudden have another catcher behind the plate. We'll see how that goes as a ball trickles in from the LR bullpen. But it's never, good as a pitcher when you switch catchers. And pitchers sometimes, as pitchers, and I'm speaking from experience, we're a little fickle when it comes to those things.
A little fickle in general. 2-0. I was not a pitcher, so I can just say that from a non-pitcher perspective. From a catcher's perspective, as somebody, sometimes it's as much like ego management as it is actual physical work as a catcher. Ynesta's ahead 3-0. So Berezino, obviously, it's a real thing, though. Berezino obviously not in rhythm here, as he hasn't been close to the strike zone on the first 3 pitches to Ynesta here in the 6th.
Yeah, and it was kind of with the transition with Blair, there was kind of a little bit of time that elapsed.
Yeah.
And
it's a late decision made by Limestone as Ynesta walks on 4 pitches for the second time today. And Ynesta, whenever he turns around, we have the look here from the camera angle. Whenever he walks, he's just always really upset about it. Like, he's one of those guys that always wants to hit. And whenever he gets walked, I think it's a little bit disappointment for him. As this might be the end for Berezino.
If it is, what a heck of a job he's done today.
5+ innings for him, giving up 2 hits to this offense that is absolutely humming coming in. Scored double-digit runs in 3 out of their last 4. And it is the end for him. So a great start for Berezino. He leaves with the lead. Ynesta on first base belongs to him. Berezino coming out. We'll tell you about the new pitcher when we come back to Durham Field here on the Bears Sports Network. First Carolina West called the bullpen today for Limestone. Brings the righty Nick Robertson out of the pen for his second appearance of the season. Took the loss against Anderson back on Friday. 2 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 1 earned. In that one, transfer in from USC Union, where in 2021 he pitched in 5 games as a sophomore for the Bantams. 4 strikeouts and 5 1/3 innings of work. So not a ton out there on him, but he's facing the middle of this Bear lineup in Clarno, Atiles, and Perrino coming up after Berezino, the starter, walked Ynesta to start things off here in the 6th.
And we'd be remiss not to talk about the job that we just saw holding the Bears offense at bay for 5 1/3. I think Coach Harker doing a good thing there, getting him out, not allowing him to have the ability to take the loss after a freshman, a lot of confidence coming out of there after he settled down. I think as a coach, you probably wish you could have made the pitching change at the same time you made the catching change, knowing he was getting close to the end.
Right.
But I don't think they had anybody lose. I think it was probably one of those, like, hey, see how the game goes. If he gets a guy on, we might look at it. So maybe this resets things for the Saints, but from the Bears' perspective, hopefully not.
You know LR wants to at least get the tying run here in this inning as Clarno squares to bunt early and misses, well, doesn't miss it, but pops it foul. And obviously this is a situation that the Bears will be bunting in to move Ynesta in this 1-run game, but this is a good test to see what kind or where the Bears are in this part of their offensive development, small ball wise. To see, you saw Limestone manufacture a run without getting a hit last half inning. Let's see if the Bears can do something similar. Clairno up in the box. Finestra at first, squares to bunt, pitches high. Ball and a strike.
A lot of movement on the infield. When you square to bunt, a lot of things have to happen. But here for Clairno, who likes to try and bunt for a hit, it's more about just getting the runner over there. Stay in the box, see the ball hit the bat, and then worry about getting down the line. You're not even really worried about getting down the line.
You see Nelson at third base creeping closer. The runner goes. He's swinging away. Chopper left side. This will be tough. And Adams eats it in an infield single for Clairno. So definitely best case scenario there for the Bears. And now you'd think Attiles will be bunting here to move the guys up.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, just like I was saying, you get people moving around, crazy things can happen. And I'm sure I was going to continue that by saying it gives you the opportunity to maybe do some hitting run. I think I was going to say that.
Is that what you were going to say?
That's what I was going to say. And Coach Ram obviously read my mind there, putting that on. But definitely here, staying out of the double play. One out and runners at second and third would be a great thing here for the Bears.
So Luis Attiles, who has a base knock in this game, but was quickly erased on the double play back in the fourth inning. See what he does here with Nelson, the third baseman, even with the baseline. He is bunting and ducks out of the way of that high breaking ball for ball one.
No, not a whole lot of movement there for the Saints on the infield with the square to bunt.
Coach Ram saying, get it down the third base line. Nelson only even with the bag right now, and Attiles can run. You just got to be careful here with the force still everywhere around the horn. The 1-0. Fastball down the third base line. Can he keep it fair? Another base hit. Coach Ram called it. He said to Attiles, if you get it down the third base line, you're going to be safe. And that certainly came true.
Absolutely. What a bunt there. I think I would have been safe on that one there, running down the line. They're perfectly placed. The defense you have to have is the third baseman staying deep there so they don't steal the bag behind you. So not a lot you can do there, and the Bears have some life here.
Bases loaded, nobody out. This feels like a defensive situation as Brent Harker, the head coach for Limestone, isn't even talking to Robinson, the pitcher. He's talking to the left side of his infield. As Nelson, the third baseman, I'm not really sure what he was doing there. He just kind of let that thing roll. I don't know who else he thought was going to field that ball.
It looks like this might be some defensive adjustments here. I don't know, but a lot of times what you teach there is the third baseman to come in three-quarters opened up, still looking to run at second base. But if he reads that ball super hard, he's got to crash. Your pitcher has no chance to get over there and get that ball. So early in the year, probably still getting those bunt defenses and calls out there, but worked out for the Bears.
So a bases loaded, nobody out opportunity here for Anthony Perrino, who has been great in these types of situations. Leads LR and RBIs this year with 11. And lines this one down the right field line into the corner. This will roll forever. 2 runs are in. Attiles stopping at third base, and just like that, LR is back in front. A 2-run double for Anthony Perrino.
Perrino with a great piece of hitting there, taking what he was given, a breaking ball in the outer half of the plate, and just serving it over the first baseman's head for a double. Not trying to do too much of that, get too big, and put a lot of pressure on yourself. Just taking what the game gives you and scored 2 runs for the Bears.
First lead of the day, still nobody out. The runs have come in bunches this year for LR. The game, they scored 16 runs against Goldie Beacom. They only scored in 4 innings. So they had 4 zeros and 4 huge numbers in that game. And looking for a big number here as the infield is all the way in now for Limestone with Stober up. And still nobody out and runners on second and third. Bryce flares this one. This will be trouble. Attiles tags up, but it drops in front of the right fielder. RBI single for Stober. 4th hit of the inning for the Bears. They've already have 3 runs here with still nobody out.
Bryce doing what Bryce does and figuring out a way to score a run, just gave himself up there and said, hey, I'm going to get a fly ball into the outfield and get this sac fly, and it happened to drop in front of the right fielder.
It's a new right fielder in Bowsley this inning. He did well to get to that as quickly as he could to hold Perrino at third. But now, David Bell, 4 straight hits for the Bears. So a no decision after all that for Berezino. Bell off the handle, foul off to the right. Look out over there, and the cars just barely missed the windshield.
That seems like an opportunity for a sponsorship, right? I think we need to have a windshield sponsor.
Yeah, the old, got to get some sound effects going in the stadium too, the old shattered glass classic. David, 2 flyouts to center field in this game. Runner goes from first, Bell swinging again, another foul pop fly out of play down the right field line.
Testing a new catcher behind the plate, you know, kind of the rules of baseball. You're going to put a new guy in, the ball will find him. And
certainly has been the case with Bowsley out there in right field this inning.
Absolutely. That's why you got to stay ready. But Coach Ramirez trying to get some things going there, a little hit and run or run and hit probably in that situation.
Yep. Stober 1 for 1 stealing bases this year. Stays put on this pitch as it misses way upstairs, 1-2. Still nobody out. It just felt like a matter of if rather than when, or rather when rather than if. I mixed those two up for the Bears in this game, given that they left the bases loaded in the first inning, had single runners left on base in scoring position in the 3rd and 5th innings, and now finally break through here in the 6th. The 1-2 to David Bell, back to the screen. It was right on that breaking ball, but just tapped it back, 1-2.
Bell's got to be looking for something here. He can get up the middle, fly ball, ground ball, just staying inside himself. And so many ways to score a run from third base with no outs. Even a double play here isn't the worst thing because you get the run in.
Right. Looks like it will be Spencer Floyd next out of the bullpen for the Bears. So Cockerham and Floyd, 2 true freshmen that have really taken on big roles in the LR bullpen here early on. Bell pops this one up a mile high. Foul ground by the dugout. The new catcher makes a great play. That's McCallum, who moved from right field to catcher. And an unproductive out there for the Bears, but a big one for Limestone.
For those of you that are watching that have never tried to catch that ball right there.
So difficult.
McCallum did a great job as his first inning behind the plate. After moving in from right field there to make that play. It got well above the lights here.
Little wind, too.
Tailed back right there on top of Lenoir-Rhyne University logo in front of the first base and found a way to catch that one. That's tough.
Didn't think there was a chance that he was going to catch that thing the way it was tracking. Yuri, who doubled in his last at-bat, maybe a safety squeeze on here as I think Coach Ramirez is a little upset with Stober that he didn't get to second there.
Absolutely. Trying to keep that double play. Probably one of my favorite calls as a baseball coach here is a safety squeeze with runners at first and third and 1 out. Stay out of the double play, score the run, 2 outs, runner in scoring position still. Kind of the best of all worlds.
Yuri a double down the left field line back in the 5th. It's the first extra base hit of the day for the Bears before Perrino's 2-run double this inning. Still on, bounces in front of the plate, and Stober takes second this time. So now the double play out of play, at least on the infield, and 2-0 on Yuri.
Yuri now looking for something up that he can drive into the outfield as the Saints bring the infield in as you expected them to.
Calling that a wild pitch on Robertson that moves Stober up to second. So, as you said, the infield is in again on the green of the turf. And the 2-0 coming to Brett. This is a fly ball, shallow center field. This is big trouble and will drop. The outfield was deep. The infield was shallow. There was a lot of room to work there between the two, and Brett Urey drops in an RBI single for the 4th run of the inning for the Bears.
That ball was just in a Bermuda Triangle with, as you said, outfield almost playing no doubles.
Yeah, there was a lot of space between the outfielders and the infielders.
When it was hit, I thought that's an easy play.
So did I.
We're back here in this 1st and 3rd situation with 1 out.
If Adams, the shortstop, is playing in his normal position, that's a fairly routine play for him, I think. And now with runners on the corners, top of the order coming up, the 8th man to bat this inning is Wade Cuda, who is 0 for 3 today. It's just a matter of time before the Bears found a way to find the scoreboard, and they have in a big way here in the bottom of the 6th. First pitch to Cuda is same situation here with runners on the corners and 1 out. Safety squeeze was on, but pitch was spiked from Robertson for ball 1.
Yeah, I think Coach Ramirez wanting to see some movement on the ball in the dirt there and staying out of that. But McCullough did a great job keeping that ball close. Like, it didn't jump away from him like we saw earlier when Stober was at first base.
Outfield still very deep. Infield is back now. Cuda to left field. This is trouble and down for another base hit. Bounces in front of Lombardo, and everybody's safe. Double for Wade Cuda. Drives in the 5th run of the inning. And still only 1 out here in the 6th. And Robertson has had a rough go of it here and will be replaced. So another extra base hit and RBI for Cuda. His 11th RBI as you take a look at the Spangler replay. The outfield's so deep again, Lombardo just didn't have a chance to catch that one. It's the 4th double of the season for Wade. And we have another Carolina West. Third pitcher of the inning for Limestone here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Bears have plated 5 runs, only 1 out. Runners on 2nd and 3rd looking for more. The new arm is Garrig Spradlin for Limestone, the 6'2", 200-pound senior from Roanoke, Virginia, making his 2nd appearance of 2022. Took the loss in one of the Francis Marion games in the season opening series for Limestone. Inning in a 3rd. 3 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, and a walk in that outing for Garrig, who is a great student, has been on both Conference Carolinas and SAC honor roll teams. You know, it's sometimes I forget. I was looking, I saw Conference Carolinas on his ledger here, and I was forgetting that Limestone is very new to the SAC. This is their 2nd full school year in the South Atlantic Conference. And Cole Laskowski is the 9th man to bat this inning with the infield in again for the Saints. First pitch, touch outside for ball 1. Cole, a pair of walks and a fly out today.
When I was at Barton, we had some great battles with Limestone in the Conference Carolinas. So familiar foe for me as we are the Saints.
Laskowski up the middle, past the diving Adams and into center field. 2-run single for Cole Laskowski, and the hits keep coming for the Bears.
Hitting is contagious, and the Bears, you knew off the confidence they had coming out of the weekend that it just took somebody barreling one up and it finding a gap before it kind of got the snowball rolling down the hill, and all of a sudden the energy's back in the dugout for the Bears, and everybody seems to be finding barrels.
LR had 2 hits coming into this bottom of the 6th inning. They have 7 in this half inning. Ynesta, one of the only ones without a hit. He led off the inning with a walk. And Laskowski, after the ball squirts away from McCallum, will move up to second.
Not to be lost in translation here is Blair having to come out of the game from behind the dish. He was doing a great job with a freshman arm on the mound and controlling the game. And it's crazy how in this game such a seemingly a small thing can turn into such a big thing. It's the captain of your defense, and the guy behind the plate comes out.
Ynesta hitless today, but a pair of walks. There's a strike right down Broadway, 1-1. He started things off with a walk. Single, single, double, single, pop out, single, double, single. That's the sequence here in the bottom of the 6th inning for the Bears as Drew's up for the 2nd time. The walk to Ynesta, Chase Berezino, the starter, which was the best thing that could have happened to LR today, the way he was pitching. And the 1-1. Breaking ball tapped back to the screen, 1-2.
In the box score, those sound that sounds good. There was a couple bloops in there that led to the confidence, and that's just what we were waiting on. As I said to Coach Ramirez earlier, we were interviewing him. Like, we're just looking for that bloop or something to happen.
And the Clarno chopping infield single, I think, was the bloop. Speaking of choppers, here's one to short. Adams picks it up, has to hurry, and gets Ynesta by a step. Nice play there at shortstop by Peter Adams, but the runner moves up to third. And 2 gone here in the 6th, and another chance for Clarno to drive in a run. Let's take a look at the Spangler replay.
Adams did a great job closing in on that ball. High hopper and cutting that down. If he sits back, he doesn't get out there at first
Barely
base.
got him at first base either way. Clarno watches that pitch miss tight. Lord of mercy. Tried to say pitch and miss at the same time, and that doesn't work out so well. 1-1. Pardon me, 2-0. Now I'm all out of sorts here.
Yeah, that happens. I mean, it's excusable. I mean, it's been a long inning.
It has been a long inning. 10th man to bat. But Clarno, after he failed on his first bunt attempt, Bears opted for a hit and run, and he hit a chopper to the left side that Adams fielded, but Clarno was already there. And that kind of kick-started the inning as Atiles then bunted for a hit. And then the big one for Perrino with the bases loaded opened the floodgates here for the Bears.
And still a lot of baseball left in this game.
Yeah.
3 full innings. Sometimes during a pitcher's duel, the slugfest breaks out.
You were just waiting on that one.
All day.
I heard you say it earlier off the air, and now here you are on the air.
I called it off the air.
You did.
I just
to give credit where credit is due. By the way, LR softball blanked King in the first game of the doubleheader, 6-0. This also on the Bear Sports Network if you want to channel surf. Game 2's going on right now over there.
NBA Roofing coming through big time on Bears Network and their support of our student athletes here today. It's
2-0 LR in Game 2 in the 5th. So Bear pitchers on softball really taking it to King in this one.
I don't know where she ended up, but I know Lauren Rakes was
Clarno
had a lot of strikeouts there early in the game.
Finished with 12 in game 1. Full count pitch again to Perrino. Line drive, base hit, RBI single. And the hits keep coming. That is 8 in this half inning. That's got to be a record. 8 hits in an inning? Going to have to get the research department on that one.
We'll see the stats department. See, maybe we'll get Eddie to do some research while he stands.
Yeah.
Stands over there.
The lights are on, so hopefully Eddie has some extra time here to do some research for us. Attiles, who has already a run and a hit in this inning. It was a bunt hit. Swings at the first pitch and pops it foul out of play.
Wouldn't be super shocked to see Perrino try to swipe second base here.
Yeah, obviously already with an 8-run inning, you don't hate getting a guy thrown out to end the inning, especially when you got Attiles still up to start the next inning. But it doesn't look like that's on, at least for now, as Lewis has fouled the first 2 pitches off and is down 0-2.
Yeah, I think as a coach, I think I'd take a chance here. If you get him thrown out, you get Attiles back at the plate to start the next inning. You get him out of an 0-2 jam. Or you have a runner in scoring position and a really good hitter at the plate. So
LR trying to win its 6th straight game here at home. Attiles behind that one. Look out over there. As another foul ball keeps it at 0-2.
So you've got the record book open.
Trying to find it.
Jeremy Zalak and our communication department do a great job compiling stats. If you had never looked through them on the website, can find pretty much everything there.
Attiles hit by the pitch on 0-2, so a mistake there for Limestone. And Spradlin will bring up Perrino for the second time after he knocked in a 2-run double already in this half inning.
Just looking to find a barrel here. Jump on a fastball and hit something hard. We've had a long inning already. 8 hits in this inning. 8 runs, 8 hits.
Anthony today, strikeout, double play, 2-run double. Played a really nice first base as well. Has excelled there. When Attiles was out in the Emmanuel series and Laskowski was at short, Perrino was at second base. So he's a pretty versatile guy.
He showed off those middle infielder hands a couple times today, digging balls out of the dirt over there at first base and helping his fellow infielders out.
Swinging for the fences there and missed it, 2-1.
Breaking ball hung a little bit. I bet he wishes he had that swing back, and he saw it up. His eyes got big and took a hack at it, but eluded the bat.
If Jay-Z were here, he would make a joke about we felt the wind of that swing over here. When the wind was blowing the other day, he was attributing it to Goldie Beacon's bats missing the ball. And I just had to shake my head.
That's from our good friend, Jeremy Zalak. I expect nothing less.
Yeah, the dad jokes are strong with that one. Perrino hits this one a mile in the air, left field. Lombardo comes in, calls it, as Adams, the shortstop, lost his hat. And the side is finally retired. LR sends 13 men to the plate. They get 8 hits and score 8 runs, and all of a sudden, this is a rout. It's 8-1 Bears as we head to the 7th on the Bear Sports Network.
I'm Rob with Center Street Eats. We're located at 2250 North Center Street in Viewmont. We offer fast dine-in carry-out service. Usually you're prepared.
Another Carolina West called to the bullpen for the Bears. It's freshman Spencer Floyd, who got his first career collegiate win on Sunday in the Goldie Beacom game, is yet to give up a run in 4 appearances and 4 innings in his college career so far. The freshman from just down the road in Maiden, NC, pitching in his 5th game and has turned into one of the real reliable arms for the Bears early on here in 2022.
Yeah, you got to think Coach Ramirez had him hot, ready to go in a 1-0 ball game, and
yeah,
we put up 8. So
a little bit of a different complexion of the game now, huh?
He lets him run out there and throw since he got him hot, but that's probably not expecting to put up 8, hoping to put up a few, but we'll take the 8 and then let Spencer Floyd run out there and get his midweek work in.
Spencer pitched in the midweek last week against Barton and then twice on Friday and Sunday over the weekend against Goldie Beacom and was awarded the win in that 10-3 rout of the Lightning for the Bears on Sunday. Top of the order coming up for Limestone, 4th time through the lineup for the Saints, who have left 8 men on base through 6. Certainly have had their opportunities offensively here, and the fact that they haven't capitalized on them so far is probably kind of throws salt in the wound of that 8-run inning for the Bears.
Absolutely. This could have been a much larger lead than it was there at 1-0, and would have made that inning a little bit easier to take. But I have a feeling we'll see them back on the bases soon. Maybe not. Spencer Floyd can keep them off. But if this game it's been kind of the tale of 2 games. A lot of runs.
Certainly has.
And no timely hitting. And then all of a sudden, we saw some timely hitting.
Lombardo 1 for 3. Single pair of strikeouts in this one for the left fielder for Limestone. Big hack and a miss, 1-1.
He knew what pitch was coming there and swung for it, but Floyd able to get that one under his hands.
Floyd 6 strikeouts through 4 innings so far. Keegan Cockerham, Floyd's a little bit bigger than Caleb Cockerham, but they're both fairly thin, wiry guys, and they both bring it. Like, you look, just eye test of Floyd and Cockerham, the 2 freshman relievers that have really gotten a lot of run here early in the season. You wouldn't think, shut down, high velo reliever, but that's what these 2 guys are. 1-2, way behind that one was Lombardo. And Floyd makes quick work of him here for the first out of the 7th.
And that's a great start to an inning after your team puts up 8. You're not messing around, pounding the strike zone with fastballs and just rocking and firing. I tell you, it really helps you out when you're not out there with a 7-run lead.
Yeah, well, certainly. But as a coach, though, Justin, and you have experience in this realm, it's so important and so boosting for your team after a big inning for the pitcher to just go out there and hum a 0.
Yeah, you're wanting to get back in the dugout as quick as possible if you're the Bears right here. And pitcher, I mean, you hear it's coming out of the dugouts, pitch with the lead. Like, you just put up 8 runs. A solo home, even if you give up a solo home run, it's like, get us back in the dugout, let us get back on the sticks. So Floyd's showing some maturity there just by coming out and just pounding the strike zone.
And it takes a lot of mental focus and fortitude, because when Floyd went out to that bullpen, this was a 1-0 ball game, and now he comes into the game and it's an 8-1 ball game. So certainly a shift in mindset might change how he approaches these hitters a little bit, but that takes some mental maturity to be able to adjust to that on the fly.
Absolutely, because a lot of times you'll see that the pitcher have that 8-run lead and kind of relax a little too much, or not come out and really be focused. So for him to come out, he's down 2-1 here, but for him to come out with just 3 fastballs in the zone, big time.
Burroughs behind that fastball and fouls it off to the right, 2-2. Clark, who we hit on in the open, came into this one hitting .367 with 3 homers, 0 for 2 with a walk today, but stole third base, was stranded on third in the 5th. And the 2-2. Beat into the ground left side and will spin just foul.
You're still perplexed by him stealing. I
know.
The best base runners aren't always the fastest. I mean, guys like me, my size, like we can steal some bases every once in a while.
Base running is about jumps.
Absolutely.
And I mean, obviously, speed helps. But you can be who one of the best base runners I've ever seen is Miguel Cabrera.
Absolutely.
And Miggy is certainly not the fleetest of foot, but he, in all my years watching the Detroit Tigers, is so impressive on the base pass. This ball is crushed to center field, and Burroughs has his 4th home run of the season. Cranked a breaking ball straight out of here, and it's 8-2.
Absolutely. That breaking ball stayed up, and he did not miss it. Just got the barrel to it. You don't see many balls go out of straightaway center here early in the year when it's cold and the sun's going down. He put a charge into that one.
It's the first run that Spencer Floyd has given up in his college career, and if you're going to give up one, you may as well go big. Just hung a breaking ball, and Burroughs did not miss it. So now Shugan way behind that fastball for strike 1. For you as a coach, how important was it to see how your pitcher bounced back after giving up a home run?
You took my next thought out of there. Was to see him get back in the zone is going to be important here. It's you're still up 6. It's not a big deal. You give up solo home runs don't beat you, especially. Right. So it's super important because it's about the mentality. Can your pitcher refocus and not let that one pitch go to the next pitch, not worry about it? That's what's going to make you competitive in tight situations, to be ability to flush what happens and focus on this next pitch.
Another high fastball that Shugan cannot catch up with, 1-2.
I think Floyd's doing exactly what you want to see him do here. You'd like to see him get back to the breaking ball. Obviously, he hung the breaking ball. That's going to be the pitch that kind of gives him, next time he sees the catcher put down that signal, it's going to be, okay, where's that at?
Throws the fastball, misses a touch off the plate, 2-2.
He reset himself there. I think that's big, is being, knowing that rhythm. When you're green and you're good, and mentally you're in it, I think he probably thought that was a little bit closer there, but
definitely thought he painted a corner there because it's taking a little bit longer between pitches than normal. But works from the stretch even with nobody on base and delivers the 2-2 downstairs, full count.
The stretch for relievers is something that's probably come around out of the last 15 years, definitely the last 10, and it's just a comfort thing.
Yep.
Get people comfortable. That way when they go to the stretch with runners on, it's not a big deal. I was somebody who struggled as a starter going to the stretch that first couple times, just getting comfortable. So it's been a shift in baseball.
Full count pitch off the handle, foul. We'll do it again. But I think there's some merit. Joshua Lanham, all-sack starting pitcher for the Bears, works from the stretch 100% of the time. I think it's good to be able to have that muscle memory and not have to change it when there's runners on base, because obviously the biggest pitches of games come with runners on base. So you got to be able to work your mechanics the right way in that situation. Another foul ball as Shugan is fighting Floyd hard here. And another 3-2 with the 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up.
Yeah, I was accused early in my career of balking or throwing balls to the backside to get runners off of first base. I just didn't like the slide step. I would rather pitch a runner on second base where I could take a full leg kick, and my coach would be like, "You just don't like pitching." So I agree with you 100%. Getting that muscle memory and being comfortable, because absolutely, and nobody on base out of the windup is easy.
Yeah. Another full count pitch, breaking ball, perfect. Strike 3. So the pitch that he gave up the home run with to Burroughs ends up being the strikeout pitch to Shugan, and 2 gone.
Absolutely, and you love to see that right there from Spencer Floyd. It's the first time he'd thrown it since he's given up the home run off that pitch, and a 3-2 count, just the ability and the mental toughness to throw that pitch and not even have somebody swing at it. What a great pitch there.
Now McCallum, who started the game in right field, ended up behind the plate in the big 8-run inning. Last half inning for the Bears is at the plate. He's 0 for 3 today. Pair of strikeouts and a ground out.
I would expect to see this Saints team later in the year really clicking. A lot of transfers, a lot of people coming in.
Young pitching staff.
And just really taking some good swings. So I think as the transfer portal has changed the game of really college athletics in general, I think you're going to see some teams with slow starts really pick up late as those guys learn to play together. They come from a lot of different baseball teams and get assimilated into the culture at their new program.
And that's part of the reason is McCallum did go around on that last pitch as 0-2. But the Bears have gelled so quickly early this season because their transfers have really integrated themselves into this team really well. The 0-2 upstairs, 1-2, but Ynesta and Austin Edwards are the 2 grad transfers that come to mind that have played big roles for the Bears. Atiles, who was a transfer last year but didn't play because of the injury. Laskowski at second base is a transfer. I mean, there's a lot of new faces in this Bear lineup that have played such a huge role in this 8-1 start. Spencer Floyd trying to strike out the side here. Misses low with the breaking ball, 2-2.
I like the way Spencer Floyd works. He
Me
works
too.
Quick, almost like he's double parked somewhere and he's got somewhere to go.
Yeah, I love it when the pitcher just catches it, gets back on the rubber, and is ready again. The young freshman Spencer Floyd misses just a touch off the plate, full count. But Limestone, man, they battled with these at-bats. They've made the Bears work for their strikeouts for the most part. I agree with you that Limestone is going to be a problem for some people later in the season.
Absolutely won't surprise me one bit to look up late and see them really clicking on all cylinders.
It's a hard ground ball right side. Laskowski drifts into the outfield and makes a great play to retire the side. So Burroughs hits a bomb. Limestone scored single runs in the last 2 innings, but Spencer Floyd a clean inning other than that. Time to stretch at Durham Field. 8-2 Bears on the Bears Sports Network.
Cordell Harris Insurance Agency, a family-owned and operated business serving the Hickory area since 1981. where we strive to take care of you and your den like family. As an independent insurance agency, we offer a vast spectrum of coverage for your commercial and personal insurance needs with our extensive network of providers. Cordell Harris Insurance Agency is a proud sponsor of Lenoir-Rhyne Athletics. Protect your den with Cordell Harris. Go Bears!
Another Carolina West call to the bullpen for Limestone. Brings the righty Jacob Walker to the hill, 5'11", 230-pounder from San Jose, California. Transferred in from Mission College. Third appearance of 22. Worked 7 innings and is off to a bit of a rough start this season. Giving up 14 hits, 12 earned runs. 5 strikeouts to 3 walks. ERA north of 10. But trying to keep things under control here. Brian Collette gets a pinch hit opportunity for Stober here for the Bears.
Starting to see Coach Ramirez work some of those guys in, get some at-bats.
Seen Braden pitch this year, but this is his first at-bat. And first pitch misses low for ball 1.
Every pitcher's dream.
To hit, yeah.
To hit. They all think they can hit. Only certain ones actually can.
Collette came here as that ground ball shot into the Bear dugout. This is what they brought him here to do, was do both. Originally committed to Georgia Southern out of high school. Never actually played for Georgia Southern and ends up here in Hickory. And is down 1-2 as he flares that foul ball off the screen.
It's tough in college to be a dual guy.
Oh.
It takes a special.
Got to be in great shape too.
And just the time that has to be spent at both crafts to really excel in it.
Absolutely. Lays off a tough pitch there. Did not go around. 2-2.
Certain guys can roll out of bed and hit, so it's easier for those guys. But it's not the case for me.
Yeah, same. Wide stance for Braden. Most of the batter's box covered. The 2-2. Touch inside. Spinner doesn't quite find the plate. Full count. Zone, again, tight but consistent all day long.
You can't complain about that too much. I mean,
nope.
It's tight.
Maybe pitchers will, that it's tight. Good at bat for Collette in a pinch hit roll. Draws a walk. And the Bears have the leadoff base runner on, following up an 8-run 6th inning. LR, if you're just joining us, got all 8 of their runs in the 6th. Had 2 hits through 5 and got 8 hits and 8 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning to break this thing wide open. And another pinch hitter, it's Matt Mackey. Guy that they just desperately want to get going. Preseason first team, all-conference first baseman.
And it's, Mackey's one of those guys that can hit. It's there.
Yes. Had a great fall and has, according to Coach Ram, has done it in every position except for in these 9 games that the Bears have played this season. Takes high and is ahead 2-0. And we had a chat today about lots of different things, but Mackey was one of the topics that came up, and he goes, Coach Ram goes, it's just one of those things because he does everything right. He's a leader in the weight room, a leader in the cages, a leader in practice, one of the best practice players they have. So it's hard to keep him out of the lineup because Coach Ram just likes him so much, like as a person, and obviously as a player has, led the Bears in home runs last year and slugging percentage and a bunch of other offensive categories.
Yeah, Mackey's earned the right for Coach to give him a little bit of leeway. And we're early in the year. I mean, we've been lucky. There's been a lot of guys hot in the lineup.
Yeah, true.
Which has made it harder to get Mackey at bats.
Exactly.
But
he can't take Perrino out of the lineup the way he's been going. Mackey caught looking there on a breaking ball for the first out.
So you have to expect Mackey to get going at some point and just keep giving you those chances because you know what's in there and you know the experience and is there. So you'll continue to see Mackey get his at-bats, and when he gets rolling, that just gives us one more big bat or either in the lineup or off the bench that you will need in conference play. That's why we play so many early games.
Brett Urey, who has made the most of his third start in left field today. Double single runs scored for Brett. Had one of the few hits of the first 5 innings for the Bears.
And this is where, as a coach, you score 8 in an inning, but they get one back. It's only a 6-run lead. You got to keep your foot on the gas and really put some people away here. Because a lot can happen. There's still 2.5 innings left here.
Yeah, and we saw that come up in the Goldie Beacom series. LR went to the 9th inning of one of the games up 5 and gave up a grand slam. That's a miss there on a called strike. That pitch is up, or at least it has been up the whole day. But, sometimes you have a miss. 2-1 on Urey, but that obviously was relevant, these late inning insurance runs, and the Bears did that in that game. They tacked on 3 runs in the last 2 innings and ended up winning by 1. As the runner goes, pitches in the dirt, throw is not nearly in time. So Collette, in his first pinch hit appearance of the year, walks and then steals a bag and eliminates the double play possibility here on a 3-1 count on Brett Urey. Take a look at the Spangler replay. All our replays presented by our friends at Spangler Restoration. No chance.
Yeah, tough pitch to handle there from McCallum behind the plate. Good jump at first base, but you really want to see an answer inning right here.
Sure.
You give up a run. Just that answer is always important.
Urey, left foot, right even with the front of home plate. 3-1 pitch. Behind it, full count.
After that pitch got caught up in the zone, he had to expand the zone just a little bit and ended up chasing a ball that's probably well out of the zone. But, that's where that can throw you off as a hitter when the strike zone starts to change a little bit and evolve over the course of a game. Sometimes late in the game we see that happen.
Here he chokes up a bit. The full count delivery is a ground ball through the left side for a base hit. Collette stopping at third as the throw gets in from Lombardo. That was a wise choice by Coach Ram. But the third hit of the day for Brett Urey in the 9-hole. He's had a really nice night at the plate.
Absolutely. You get that type of production out of your 9-hole in front of Wade, Cuda, and the rest of your lineup. You're going to find ways to be successful. But what a good piece of 2-strike hit in there. Just choking up, getting the bat to the ball, and it found a hole. That's why you focus on putting the ball in play, especially when you're in that 8-9-1 spot in the lineup. You don't necessarily want your boppers to do that in the 3-4 all the time, but good piece of hitting there out of the 9-hole.
Max LaCroix will pinch hit for Cuda here. So Wade in a 6-run game after he doubled back in the 6th gets replaced. But this is important reps for these guys. LaCroix's first at-bat of 22 after only playing in one game in 21.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is, again, this is what the midweek games are about. This isn't he's got to hustle down the line to beat this double play.
And does, as the ball hits him on an errant throw from shortstop. So the run scores. So LaCroix knocks in the run on the fielder's choice there as Yuri is forced out at second. And LR answers, as you said, the Limestone run here in the 7th. It's 9-2 Bears.
Going back to the reps, like being able to get reps in a game that's not a blowout. It's still a very important game at this point. It's not a 15-run lead. It's a 6-run lead at that time. To get those reps, they're still meaningful. It's still a very tight game that can go either way. Those are the reps you need guys to get early in their career, earlier in the year. That way, when it's a one-run game or it's you're behind by 2 and you need that base hit, they haven't only been in games where it's a complete blowout. So majorly important reps here.
It's the first career RBI for LaCroix. Now Laskowski, as the runner goes, pitches a called strike. The throw is not in time. So first career RBI, first career stolen base for Max LaCroix. Getting himself into the scorebook here in the bottom of the 7th.
And really a hustle RBI. Got down the line, beat the double play. Now in scoring position for a single.
Laskowski's been on 3 times today. 2 walks and a single in that massive 6th inning was one of the 8 hits. 2-run single, little ground ball up the middle with the infield in. Drove in 2 runs. And the 1-1. Upstairs, 2 balls and a strike on Laskowski, who I think they knew what he could be, but I think expectations thus far have been even exceeded for this coaching staff.
Well, I mean, expectations are you know what guys can do, but I think a lot of this you could never expect what some of these guys have done early in the year.
Right.
But learning a new team, seeing how quickly they come together is majorly important.
So 3-1 on Laskowski in the pitch. Pop dump right over our heads out of play. Do you know who lives there, Justin?
I do. Miss Mauser.
In her front yard.
Right in Miss Mauser's front yard.
She collects many a foul ball.
Absolutely. I saw her walk through the yard earlier as the game was starting. So as the suns went down, it's got a little bit chillier. She's probably not out and about as much.
Laskowski walks for the 3rd time today. LR softball, by the way, 2 6-0 wins over King today. So a good bounce back for them after they had a bit of a rough go of it down in Florida. And a mound visit coming for Walker. Actually, a replacement coming for Walker. The Bears answer the Limestone run here in the 7th, looking to extend this lead even more when you come back to Durham Field on the Bears Sports Network. Second appearance of 2022 for the big 6'3", 220-pound lefty Willie Rodriguez, redshirt junior from Brooklyn, New York, transferred in from Garrett College. One appearance on the year in the opening weekend against Francis Marion, an inning, gave up 2 runs, 1 earned with a pair of strikeouts. But last year for Garrett, made 10 appearances, 7 innings in 1 start, 12 strikeouts. So a portal pickup for Limestone, trying to get the 3rd out of this bottom of the 7th inning. It's going to be a tough out to get with Drew Unesta digging in. 2 walks and a run scored in this game for Unesta, who fouls that one off his leg.
Big breaking ball coming in there, first pitch. Just dove out of strike zone. Unesta caught the very top of it. And it caught his ankle, which never feels good.
He's got the big guard on the left shin. Might have hit the foot, I think. So, not any protection there. Unesta, a classmate of mine in the LR grad school here. Watches that changeup float low and outside for ball 1. Him, Isaiah Nunez, the GA pitching coach, myself, and Austin Edwards, all in the same grad class.
Probably not a whole lot of baseball talked about in that class.
Any second we get. Goes after a pitch downstairs there and fouls it back 1-2.
I think I've got 6 baseball players in my sports marketing class this semester.
Professor Hay here.
Well, we'll stop short of that, but we'll go with more, I don't know what I would call myself. But we're talking about some sports marketing.
Tour guide Hay?
Yeah, we got, I had a good review last semester in my techniques of coaching class. It was the best sleep they'd had all year. So
1-2. Unesta watches that one intently off the plate. 2-2. Bowsley out there in right field, way off the line. Ton of room down that right field line if Unesta chooses to go that way, which is where Rodriguez is pitching Unesta here in this at-bat. I wouldn't pitch him inside either.
No, but doesn't seem like they feel like he's going to go that way.
Full count. So with 2 outs, 2 men on base, LaCroix on second, Laskowski on first will have a head start. Coach Riz over there at first base, coaching up Laskowski. Cole, when the pitch is thrown, you steal. I think that's what Riz just said.
Yeah, he's probably telling don't let the first baseman crash behind you and get picked off.
Probably. There they go. Pitches to the backstop for ball 4. Go ahead.
It's always a concern of mine. Like, I just knew that they were going to run that play always in that situation. So I'm sure that's what Riz was saying, or it could have just been, hey, it's cold out here, as us coaches do sometimes.
Riz seems like the guy that would, in cold weather, underdress just to show how tough he is.
I could see that, but I could also see Riz saying something just completely off the wall to loosen the mood up. But
so a pinch hit for Scott Metzler here, a pinch hit at bat, I should say. Been basically the everyday DH, but not in the lineup initially today. Gets a chance here with the bases loaded in the 7th. Watches a slider miss down below the knees for ball 1.
Another dual guy for Coach Ramirez. I mean, a guy that's low 90s off the mound, but also swings it really well.
Yeah, 259 start. I got off to a really hot start and has cooled off at the plate the last few. There's a strike on the corner. 7 for 27, pair of doubles, 5 RBIs for Scott, 4 walks as well. Open stance towards the front of the box. And the 1-1. Downstairs again, 2-1. Had a bases-loaded walk the last time he came up in this situation on Sunday here against Goldie Beacom in the rain.
Was it raining during that game?
Sure was.
Oh, I don't think you mentioned that on
in
the
the beginning. It was. Here we are on this nice, clear night. We were under tarps and tents, so that was a 55-foot pitch there from Rodriguez, and Metzler's ahead 3-1.
Yeah, we can't complain about the weather we've had for February, other than one day.
Hey, we powered through, though.
Yeah,
so.
And I mean, I listened to the whole broadcast as I was driving home from Ohio, and obviously y'all did a professional job as always.
Jason Stubbe, with his Bears Sports Network debut, absolutely killed it.
Absolutely. Guy's got some knowledge of Division II baseball.
He does. He is very plugged in. And he gets a vote now in the regional rankings, Jason does.
Really?
Yeah. He goes, I got to watch all these things. He wants to be an informed voter, which I really respect, because there are plenty of uninformed voters out there, even at the FBS level.
Absolutely. Even at the Hall of Fame level for baseball, but we don't have time for that.
We don't. There's another bases-loaded walk to Metzler. So Rodriguez has come in and walked 2 guys, and the 10th run is across. So 4 out of the last 5 games here at home, Bears have gotten double-digit runs. They were 13-0 last year when scoring double digits. So LR won 23 games last year, and in 13 of those 23 wins, they were in double digits.
As a pitching coach or a pitcher, you don't mind seeing double digits on the board. I'm sure as Andy Lopez looks like he's checking in.
Yeah. Lopez gets his second plate appearance of the year. He had a bases-loaded hit by pitch in his first plate appearance down at Emmanuel. So 1 RBI on the ledger for Andy. Richard Sr. from Chicago. Don't want to know what the temperature in Chicago is right now. Little lake effect for you. Oh, and there you go. So 2 plate appearances this year for Lopez. 2 bases loaded, hit by pitches as he takes that one off the left leg.
That's some efficient RBIs.
My goodness. This is going to be a patchwork defense for Coach Ram next half inning as Lopez just pinch hit for Atiles, and I don't think Andy's going to go out there at shortstop next inning.
One of the favorite parts of the game is being able to move those around. But you're right. It's going to be – we might see some defensive replacements. We might just see some guys pinch hit and come out. So
11 runs and 11 hits so far for the Bears. So a new pitcher as Rodriguez comes in, walks 2 guys and hits a guy. So not exactly his best outing. So, Justin, when is Major League Baseball going to figure itself out here so your Braves can try to repeat?
You know, I don't know. I don't even want to think about that, to be honest.
About a delay?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're there. I think pitchers and catchers were supposed to report this week.
Yeah, yesterday.
You know, it's a business, and if you know anybody who's ever played in Major League Baseball or you really know the workings of that, like, we enjoy the product they put on the field and we enjoy going to the ballpark, but at the end of the day, people are in it to make money. But one of the few instances where you will see an industry just completely shut down and fight each other because, you know, it's not like the air traffic controller strike of Reagan's era. They don't have to play baseball, and the players don't have to work in some instances. So they'll hold out for as long as they can to get what they want. I hate it for us baseball fans because I think we don't need a shortened season after we had a shortened season with COVID too.
Yeah, and this is a big year for my Tigers. Big, jump year to get the young guys kind of integrated. And, I mean, obviously the expectations are not to, win the division or anything like that, but moving in the right direction, and they need 162 is what I'm trying to say to get the major league at bats.
Yeah, absolutely. But while they're on strike, enjoy some really good college baseball.
And college baseball and minor league baseball is a full go, so make sure that you support your local college baseball teams and your local minor league teams.
Absolutely. Our good friends over at the Hickory Crawdads starting up in mid-April, I think. LR going over there to play them in an exhibition game early. That'll be a fun game at LP Fran Stadium.
April 8th, the season opener for the Dads. April 12th, the home opener. And Fluno, who is pinch hitting, gets hit by a pitch. So the last 5 batters, walk, hit by pitch. So Bears literally going station to station here.
Yeah, it's an answer inning turned into a little bit more than that, but that's frustrating as a pinch hitter. You get your chance, and then you're happy for your teammates. You drove in a run, but to see one pitch is
that's a little disappointing. As Andy Lopez gets pinch run for. Ryan Healy goes out to second base. So Collette, who led things off with a pinch hit at bat here in the 8th, gets another chance, as this is now the second inning in a row that the Bears have sent all 9 men to the plate.
And that 10 p.m. light shutoff is...
It's only 6:06.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, don't let me forget.
God help us if we're out here at 10 p.m.
I'll probably have an emergency. I need to attend back over in the gym.
Sure. Yeah, a lot going on there tonight with LR Hoops on the road. Let's get a little scoring update here on the LR women. Must-win game for them tonight. They lost to UVA Wise at home narrowly the first meeting, and the Bears want to make the conference tournament. This is got-to-have-it game tonight. Emily Harmon's out, though, so that's not a good sign. Let's have a look here. Oh, no live stats, so never mind.
A 3-0 count here for Collette. As you dig through the stats world, trying to bring the fans an update.
Ball 4. So Collette, for the second time this inning, walks. And things just going south here for Limestone. Bears up 24-19, midway point of the second quarter, and Wise, one of the great arenas in the SAC, too. It's super nice. I am well connected to the officiating community that works in the SAC, and they rave about the setting there at UVA Wise. The men's basketball team, as Matt Mackey gets another chance here in the it's the 7th inning. Gosh, feels like it should be the 9th inning by now.
Well, at our earlier pace in the first, second, and third inning, it would be.
That's right.
But we have come to a halt.
2-0 on Mackey as Limestone just cannot throw a strike. Michael Guya is the new pitcher, by the way. Redshirt sophomore from St. Augustine, Florida, transferred in from USC Union. Seems like half the USC Union team came to Limestone in the offseason. 3-0 on Mackey, who is one of the 2 outs in this inning, but is ahead by a lot here. 3 games last year for the Bantams in his sophomore season for Guya. All 13 runs for the Bears have come in the last 2 innings. There's a strike. 8 in the 6th and 5 more here in the 7th. Mackey hammers this ball. I think it's tracking foul, and it is. That would have been a grand slam for Mackey, but just was ahead of it. That's unfortunate because that would have been a huge confidence booster for him.
Absolutely. And Mackey, I'll be honest, to see him get the bat head out front there is a positive sign. He was on it. You take the wins when you get them, when you're struggling just a little bit. So for him to get the barrel out front, hit that ball as hard as he did, that's a good sign for Mackey. See if he can stay in the middle of the field here and get this ball in the gap.
Runners in motion, obviously. Full count, 2 outs, ball 4. So Mackey fights and picks up an RBI. So Healy, the pinch runner, comes in to score. And again, another pitching change coming for Limestone. We'll take a break this time. Bears up. Bears have 2 touchdowns on the board. Limestone just a safety here on the Bears Sports Network. Another Carolina West call to the bullpen. And Justin, I have to give him credit for the great joke that he made off the air between innings. Good thing that the Bears have the unlimited plan of Carolina West Wireless. Justin, well done.
Thank you. Every once in a while, I have a funny joke.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, we've been here for 3 hours. It's about time.
Yeah.
You were due for one, and you delivered.
I'm usually good for a couple dad jokes, too.
Oh, yeah. Well, father of 2, Justin Hay. Father of 2, 1 toddler and 1 newborn.
See my 5-year-old running around back there with Coach Ramirez.
Is she here?
Somewhere in the general vicinity.
Striker Ramirez.
If the lights go out, we'll probably blame her.
Yeah, okay.
She's probably done something.
Probably. She's as feisty as they come.
That's a good word for her.
Yes.
Strong-willed.
Caldwell Hay, we love her. Always love to have her around the office. Kai Montano is getting a pinch hit at bat here. 0 for 1 on the season. So Yuri is replaced after his 3-hit day. So good day for him as Coach Ram's trying to use, I think, just about everyone here in this situation. 2-1.
Jason Stubbe is earning his paycheck today with these changes. Your book is starting to look crazy. Having to keep up with it officially is something that I do not envy.
Yeah, I do not envy him for sure. 2-2. Let's look at the last 7 batters. Walk, walk, hit by pitch, walk, walk, walk. We have grinded to a halt here at Durham Field.
That is a tough stretch.
And before that, it was a RBI fielder's choice single walk. Here's a soft little line drive caught at first base by Shugan. And mercifully, the inning ends. 6 more runs for the Bears. 14-2 lead. 6 outs left between them and their 6th straight victory on the Bear Sports Network.
Hickory's hometown jeweler celebrates our hometown teams, college sweethearts. These couples met and fell in love in Hickory and have been together ever since. For the past 38 years, we've helped our clients celebrate a lot of milestones, and stories like these are some of our favorites. Bring your love back to where it all began. Show your college sweetheart the past as you look together to the future, and let us help you start your future here at Oz's Jewelers.
Every single position player is different here this half inning for the Bears. So we're going to try to recap it all as Cannon Butler's on the mound for LR. So Scott Metzler is behind the dish. I'm sorry. Ynesta's still at third base. He's the lone survivor from the starting lineup. Eric Ramirez takes over at short. Ryan Healy, who pinch ran last inning, is at second. Fluno, who got hit by a pitch in a pinch hit appearance, is at first. Do we say it's Brown in left?
Brown in left.
Jackson Brown in left. He started a couple games there this year. LaCroix stays in center for Cuda. And Ethan Smith, I'm sorry.
It's a pretty good recap there.
Is in right field for the Bears. And I mentioned Metzler's behind the dish. Cannon Butler, who is back on the mound for the Bears, had an unfortunate first outing because there was an error behind him, a couple of walks, and a couple of Texas League singles. He didn't record an out against Goldie Beacom in his outing, but it looks a lot worse on paper than it was in practice. And Cannon misses down low for ball one to Cranebach. But he had a bit of a health scare before the season that delayed his debut here in 22, put his life on hold using his COVID year here in 2022 to come back and pitch for one more year. And now back on the hill, got a clean bill of health, and thank God he's ready to go. It was a heart scare, so everything's good to go now for Cannon.
Absolutely. Now run down the lineup where you think everybody's going to hit.
Oh, goodness gracious.
No,
I don't have enough room in my scorebook to even predict. Strike at the knees, 2-1 to Cranebach, who has been on twice. Single, hit by pitch, scored the first run. He was the one that came home on the balk. Limestone scored first in this game in the 6th, and Lenoir-Rhyne has gotten 14 in the last 2, 8 in the 6th, and 6 in the 7th, 2-2.
And Coach Ramirez getting Butler some work in here, getting back in some confidence, a guy that they expect to throw some good innings for.
And
he has a very tough arm angle, and as you saw on that pitch there, it's hard to pick up. I'm not sure that pitch was picked up before it got to the dirt.
Neither was that one. Went too far around, strike 3. It's the first out of the season recorded for Cannon Butler, and it's a strikeout of Cranebach.
Can I still call it the dirt?
Yeah, see, I mentioned this over the weekend. I've decided, yes, that I still call it the dirt. It's technically the turf, but I'm just so used to saying it's in the dirt.
Yeah, I don't think we can change that.
No. Can stay modern with the turf field, but some of the lingo has to stay the same. There's a strike to pinch hitter for Limestone. It's number 34, Justin Greeter, grad student from Ridgeway, South Carolina, transferred in from Guilford Tech. But he's been at Limestone since 2019.
The COVID year and transfer portal and has made rosters hard to dissect when you start reading where they're from and how long they've been there. And
behind the fastball, grounds it foul outside the first base bag. Speaking of Guilford Tech, shout out my man DJ Russ, the assistant coach for the Morehead City Marlins this summer, is a coach at Guilford Tech Community College. Coached third base all summer long for the Fish. CPL runners-up fell to Nick Clarno and Drew Yanesta's Savannah Bananas in the CPL final. 2 strikeouts for Butler here in the 8th.
Now, what a fun league to be a part of.
Oh, the CPL is the best.
It's something I miss. You wake up and go play baseball every day. Like, there's no school, there's no anything else. It's just baseball and some long bus rides. But
yeah, it's baseball in its purest form, really. Just guys from all over the region and the country coming together and going to the yard every day. My partner, former head coach of the Wilson Tobbs, one of the classic franchises of the CPL. The Conference Carolinas Conference Tournament, by the way, is at Fleming Stadium in Wilson.
What a historic venue. In the movie Bull Durham.
Yeah.
It's the rainout scene if you've never been to Wilson and seen Fleming Stadium.
It is an old barn of a building, but classic for sure.
The dugouts are 7 feet wide.
And underground.
It is a classic. It's a great place to play a ball game.
It's quite literally a dugout, like their dugout. Big hack and a miss there at the plate for Limestone against Butler, who really seems to have his mojo back here in this outing. Chase Worrell, freshman from Charleston, is pinch hitting for the Saints. Butler trying to finish this thing off and strike out the side here in the 8th. 2-2.
What was your favorite ballpark to visit in the CPL?
Obviously, Savannah was great. We got to go there for 2 games in the championship series. But my favorite one to call games at was the newest one in Holly Springs. Ting Stadium, that's turf as well, owned by the Durham Bulls. The Salamanders are. So the really nice press box, a true booth. You don't get many of those in the CPL to call games in. 2-2, fouled back.
I thought you would go with some of the older ballparks.
Well, we hit, obviously, Wilson a lot. Didn't love Wilmington. That's a high school field. It's New Hanover High School at Wilmington. That was where we went 9 times because the Sharks and the Marlins were travel partners. Obviously, I'm partial to the Rock. Great place to watch a game.
Absolutely.
Ball just flies out of the ballpark there, too. The ocean air, you're just around the corner from the beach. Butler finishes off his perfect 8th inning. Strikes out the side. Maybe we'll talk a little bit more about the CPL in the bottom of the 8th inning. Bears up a ton on the Bear Sports Network. Bottom of the 8th, new arm for Limestone. I've lost track of how many pitchers they've had in this game. It's Will Rushing, junior from Rock Hill, transferred in from USC Lancaster. Trying to throw some strikes. The 9th pitcher of the night for the Saints. I changed my mind, by the way. Well, I have two co-favorite CPL ballparks. King Stadium in Holly Springs and War Memorial Stadium in Hampton, Virginia is classic.
That was my answer, and I thought that's where you would
go.
No,
I'd forgot about it. I was trying to go in my mind about all the trips, and Marlins beat the Pilots in the playoffs. We got to go there twice in like 2 weeks, so it was super. And they got the turf infield and the grass outfield now, which is interesting. And they've remodeled some of the concourse down the lines, but the Pilots, one of the OG, them and the Tobbs, two of the OG CPL franchises.
And their ownership group does a good job keeping that up. And
it's all wood. The grandstand is completely wood around the outside. It's like if you light a match in there, you're going to burn the whole place down. LaCroix is ahead 3-0, so Rushing so far not so good out of the bullpen throwing strikes. But yeah, War Memorial. I guess if I had to pick a favorite, I'd say War Memorial.
Absolutely. It has a crazy stat for me. We actually stopped a baseball game there to shoot off fireworks because we were getting past the noise ordinance time.
Oh, right. I remember you telling me that story.
So we shot fireworks in between the 7th and 8th inning. And I think down in Florence we had to stop the game one time so the Golden Knights could jump in because their airplane was running out of gas.
LaCroix nubs this one for a base hit over the shortstop's head into left field. Speaking of fire, sounds like somebody's like burning some smells like somebody's burning some brush. As you take a look at the Spangler replay, not exactly super hard hit from LaCroix, but counts just as much as any other base hit.
Tomorrow in the box score, it looks like a
single,
like a frozen rope.
So Eric Ramirez now gets his first chance of the day. He's also in the class with us. Transferred from UMass Dartmouth from Boston. This is his first at-bat of the season. Played a defensive inning against Goldie Beacom over the weekend. Yeah, War Memorial is, and my old boss, Buddy Bangle, the owner of the Morehead City Marlins, would be upset with me because he's big rivals with Hank Morgan. And it's a friendly rivalry, of course, but he wouldn't like to hear me giving Hank Morgan a compliment.
Absolutely. Hank's one of my I enjoyed competing against Hank.
He's just a great dude. One of the best people in that league. Been in the league forever. Had a really good team this past summer that the Marlins knocked off in the playoffs to make it to the championship series against Savannah.
They beat us in 2014 in the round to go to the Pettit Cup Finals.
Yeah, that was what the Eastern Divisional Playoffs. Peninsula and Morehead City. There's a strike to Ramirez. 2-2.
Ramirez seeing some tough pitches here.
Yeah.
In a pinch hit at bat, first at bat of the year. Saw a breaking ball, backdoor breaking ball, drop in on the inside part of the plate, and then a well-placed fastball on the outer part of the plate that maybe wasn't a strike earlier in the game.
Should be now, though. It's time for the zone to expand. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Ramirez gave it a good hack, but goes down. He's the first out here at the bottom of the 8th. And another pinch hitter. It's Mike Meisenheimer.
Absolutely. And, talking to a couple guys that have played professional baseball, talking about the different levels and how the game changes, they really spoke about, maybe in college you get maybe 1 to 2 pitches to hit an at-bat.
Sure.
Sometimes, he said in single A, double A, you might get a pitch. He said in pro ball you might get 1 pitch every 3 at-bats, and you just can't miss it.
You have to get it.
Eric there didn't really get a good pitch to hit.
Mm-hmm.
So for his first at-bat, that was tough. But I can't imagine what it's like to only get 1 pitch that is hittable every 3 at-bats. And if you miss it, you might not see one for, the next couple of at-bats. That's tough.
Mike, the redshirt sophomore from Monroe, NC, gets his first at-bat of the year. One of those infielders that bats from the left side. Went to Piedmont High School.
He's in my sports marketing class.
Is he?
Yeah. Always provides some good insight over there from the left side where the baseball players sit.
Swing and a miss, down 1-2. So that's an in-person class, sports marketing.
Absolutely. Business 366. We've got a I think all but 4 or 5 in the class are student athletes.
Well, I don't know the exact percentage, but it's a large percentage of LR student population are student athletes. Here's a chopper to short, just going to first and beating it by a step is the throw. 2 outs here in the 8th.
I think we're about 40%, 35-40%.
Is that the percentage? Cody Costa's the new shortstop, by the way, for Limestone. Made a nice play there. Metzler again comes up. Meisenheimer pinch hit for Yanesta there, by the way. So we thought that Yanesta would be he would be replaced in this inning, and he was. Metzler, bases loaded, walk, and this one's a frozen rope, but foul into the Bear bullpen.
He didn't miss that one.
No, he did not. Just a touch ahead of it.
A little bit early there, but. What are your plans for Saturday, Eric? Where are you going? We've got so much going on campus.
I will be here at Durham Field. Danny and I, as soon as the game is over, jumping in the car and taking off for Savannah, Georgia for the lacrosse game this weekend. So we're driving halfway to Columbia on Saturday evening and getting up and going to Savannah for an 11 a.m. face-off. Top 10 matchup.
Against Tampa.
Tampa and LR, rematch from the tournament a year ago.
That's a big game. Yeah, Saturday we've got softball here. We've got baseball here.
Basketball, too.
We got basketball here. We got tennis going on over at the Y. Just a couple blocks from campus.
Everybody's at home, which it's a full day on the Bear Sports Network. I will be here at baseball. Anthony Brown will be handling basketball play-by-play duties. And our man Joe Smith over at softball, who did the games tonight, made his 2022 debut. Metzler swings and misses. And the side is retired. 3 outs away from another double-digit victory for the Bears on the Bear Sports Network. Top of the 9th, we've reached the end here, 3.5+ hours later here at Durham Field. The last 3 outs are tasked to Hayden Gresham, making his first appearance of 2022 and the final Carolina West call of the bullpen of the night, we hope. Hayden, a career 3.92 ERA in 3 seasons, 20 2/3 career innings, 23 hits, 9 earned runs, 19 strikeouts. For the redshirt junior from Charlotte, went to Hopewell High School in Queen City, and gets the nod here in the 9th, protecting a 12-run lead. Mr. Gresham, another student of yours.
Yep, for the second semester in a row. I have to commend him on his walkout song. This is Metallica, For Whom the Bell Tolls here.
Little classic rock.
To get us going in the 9th after we kind of crept through the 6th and the 7th.
We flew through the first 5 innings. Neither team scored in the first 5, and then the Bears got 8 in the 6th and 6 in the 7th. Limestone added single runs in those 2 innings as well. Neither team scored in the 8th. And here we are in the 9th with Gresham facing Bowsley, who entered the game defensively back in the 6th, and this is his first at-bat of the day. Brock, the sophomore from Cape Coral, Florida. 2-0. Got to just be in strike every pitch mentality here with a 12-run lead, right?
Absolutely. And then as easy as that sounds sometimes, you get out there, the adrenaline's pumping.
Sure.
The Metallica got you going, and, you're just looking for – a lot of times it just takes that first strike or that to kind of deep breath, start to pound the zone.
There was that first strike. Three and one. Bowsley at the plate was also a wrestler in high school. Waves and misses, 3-2.
One sport I think I've never seen in person.
Really?
Just not
never seen wrestling in person.
Not a big sport in Mississippi.
True. It is in Michigan. Massive. A bunch of my good friends were wrestlers in high school. Full count pitch. Downstairs. Oh, he wanted to punch him out and didn't. The home plate umpire, you saw him pump it. Well, he didn't pump it, but he kind of staggered back. Oh, man. We all had the same thought, man. He should have just pulled the trigger.
Yeah, I mean, it was low.
It was low.
It was a ball.
It was
definitely a ball.
I mean, it was the right call.
He was. I think he gave us the impression that if it was close, he was going to call it a strike.
Certainly true. Which, again, I mean, he's been back there for pushing 4 hours now, so. So this is Costa, the shortstop replacement. Another Florida native from Tampa. But yeah, going back to lacrosse Saturday, this is going to be a good game. I mean, the Bears knocked the Spartans out of the tournament in overtime here in Hickory in May. One of the great games in LR lacrosse history that sent the Bears to the Final Four, and eventually the national championship games. Derek Beasley will come have a chat with Gresham. But the rematch in Savannah, Bears dropped the opener to UIndy, but bounced back with 2 good home wins this past weekend over North Greenville and Florida Tech, 2 quality opponents. So feeling pretty good about themselves heading into that matchup. I know that Coach P and staff are looking forward to it, and I'm sure Tampa is as well, bringing back just about everyone from last year, and certainly a big revenge game for them.
It was a physical, close game. LR was down 5.
Yeah.
5 goals.
4 or 5 came back,
and won in overtime, didn't we?
Overtime, yeah. Yep. Colton McCracken, the game winner. The famous call from Adekale released the Kraken.
Adekale with He was waiting on that.
He certainly
had that
was.
one in the pocket.
Once Jamie got done cheering, Adekale snuck that one in there. 2-1.
After Coach Beasley and Hayden had a discussion about what they were going to eat post-game and kind of got his mind off of it.
Going to cookout might be the only thing open by the time we're done here. And the 2-1 pitch. Touch outside, 3-1. The last thing you want in this situation are walks. So if Limestone gets hit, so be it. But walks are not what the doctor ordered in this situation.
No, and that's
It's a chopper to third. Meisenheimer in the game. Ball finds the new guy. Has to hurry, but no chance. Not sure Nolan Arenado would have made that play on the turf. Well, I say that. The best third baseman on the planet probably would have.
Yeah, I mean, I was chuckling at the ball finds the new guy because I would like to ask you where they would have to go for not find the new guy.
That's true, but Meisenheimer's the newest guy. Newest.
The newest guy.
Yeah.
So the old adage still rings true. That could be what Gresham needs there. You got some weak contact, even though it reached safely, just get in the zone.
Ben Rayborn now, the freshman from Hendersonville, Tennessee. I want you to guess if this is a Catholic school that he went to. Pope John Paul II High School. I think that's a pretty safe bet. That's a Catholic high school.
As a Catholic myself, I would tell you that there's 100% chance.
Yeah,
that is.
I think Pope John Paul II High School is about as Catholic as it could possibly be.
It's as Catholic as the Pope.
2 strikes on Rayborn. Gresham working ahead for the first time this inning. Almost had the strikeout. The ball just grazed by Rayborn off the glove of Metzler. Still 0-2.
Needed that ball to get a little bit more out of the zone. Start in the zone with 2 strikes and leave the zone. That's the way you get swings and misses. Stayed a little bit too much in the zone, but he was able to foul it off.
Neither team, by the way, has committed an error in this game. This has been an error-free game. I just jinxed now, but...
I mean, we've seen some really good baseball today. I mean, other than a 6-out stretch, really.
Yeah.
It's been some clean baseball, well-played baseball.
Well pitched. There's a wild pitch that moves the runners up, but the starters, I mean, Moyers had a bit of a hiccup in a couple different innings, but he worked around it. And Berezino, the starter for Limestone, was awesome. 5+ innings, only 2 hits, only charged with 1 run, so gets a no decision. Robertson's going to end up with the loss for the Saints. And the 1-2 pitch. Ooh, needed that one. 2-2.
That's one we were needing to get out of here.
Ooh. Not the time to squeeze them in a 12-run game. 2-2. Popped up, right side. Fluno runs out of room, barely. Saw a really good crowd here on the weekend. First home weekend for the Bears. Obviously, the weather really helped that. Made it more appealing to come out.
Supposed to be 58 and sunny Saturday.
Yeah.
You got a lot of chances to watch the Bears on campus.
Especially, LR's going to be on a 6-game winning streak going into the weekend. It's a Shippensburg team that hasn't won a whole lot thus far, but they've pitched it well. There's a strikeout for Hayden Gresham. Couple pitches too late, but still gets the first out of the 9th.
And we have reached the point where The official didn't even take out his lineup card for the pinch hitter.
Kyle McCann is the pinch hitter. Richard Sr. from, here's a town for you, Coventry, Rhode Island. Went way too far around, strike one.
Good to see Christian finding his rhythm right here. That's one of the hardest things to do as a reliever when you come in, like we talked about earlier. With Floyd coming in, is that mentality. Like sometimes you're up by 12 and it's hard to lock in.
And past Metzler for the third run of the night for Limestone. The guy at the plate, McCann, this is his seventh at-bat of 2022. It's 1 for 6. But pitched a little bit last year in sack play against Tusculum. But has yet to pitch this year. Hit just under 300 at the Community College of Rhode Island, where he transferred in from. Also 1-1 record on the mound in 6 1/3.
Limestone's team covers a large geographic
My
footprint.
goodness, we've had guys from California, the New England area, Rhode Island.
Tampa.
Lots of Florida guys. Grounders short. Ramirez will let the runner go home and throw to first for the second out to get McCann. So, pair of runs here in the ninth for Limestone, but down to their final out here tonight. So it's still Shugan. He is the first guy who was in the starting lineup to hit this inning. Burroughs just got pinch hit for there by McCann. Shugan 0 for 4 tonight. Strikeout, ground out, strikeout. Went too far around. And now Limestone is down to their final strike tonight.
It's a good breaking ball there from Gresham. As he seems to have settled in a little bit.
Certainly throwing a lot more strikes here, these last three batters. Also not his normal catcher back there, too.
It's important, some important innings for a lot of Bears tonight.
For sure. Good to see Cannon Butler get his mojo back, struck out the side in the 8th. Spencer Floyd gave up the home run, but bounced back beautifully after that with a strikeout and a soft ground out. And Cockerham scoreless inning as well. Gresham trying to finish it off tonight. Misses downstairs 2-2.
Looking forward to going to one of our great corporate partners and getting some dinner. I just hadn't figured out which one I'm going to yet.
Yeah, well, me neither. I got to get some dinner plans, though, because I'm starving. Little Dante's Pizza action for lunch today. First time I've had that. That was good. The 2-2 again. Dropped on the swing and a miss, but Metzler finishes off a 10-run victory for Lenoir-Rhyne. They score 14 runs, all in 2 innings. There are 6 zeros on the board and 2 massive numbers. But the Bears win their 6th game in a row. As you take a look at the Spangler replay that finished things off, Metzler couldn't squeeze it, but then does make a good throw over to first. So, Justin, final takeaways tonight from tonight's win?
The Bears continue to score in bunches. I think that the arms are going to be big for the Bears this year, and they'll continue to swing the bat and continue that hot start into the weekend.
They'll try to continue this perfect homestand. They're 6-0. Welcome Shippensburg in for 3 this weekend. 2 on Friday, 1 on Saturday. I'll be here at 1 p.m. here at Durham Field on Friday for Game 1 of that series. And I hope you are as well. For Justin Hay and the rest of our wonderful Bears Sports Network crew, including a pinch hitter tonight on the camera, Eric Bach saying so long from Durham Fields. Another double-digit victory for the Bears here tonight.